we'll do a little bit of a recap of what happened last session to orient everybody, because it was a bit interesting towards the end. But first, because we've had quite a number of new followers dive into this campaign since we started, I want to do just a short round table for you guys to reintroduce your characters. So give the sort of three-part description of your character, as well as a brief physical description before we get started. So Seto, Will, why don't you kick it off, describe to chat any new viewers we have. Who are you playing in this campaign?
All right, I am playing Seto Yashuan, the graceful glaive who masters weaponry. He's basically a samurai warrior who has an interesting perspective on life. It's all about honor and living his life by a set of codes. He has a very ornate samurai longsword at his hip, and he has a kind of moustache which comes down here. He wears kind of bamboo armor, and he carries himself with a grace and purpose. He doesn't make any actions without needing to. He doesn't say anything without it needing to, and he's often seen meditating, or chopping things, or currently following around the giant flea monster, which has his clone, which will be born in 11 months.
We'll get there.
We'll get to that. Don't worry about that right now.
I almost fell over in my chair again. Just want everybody to know that.
Stop nearly falling off your chair.
I had to try to fix the
Sit on it properly. It has 4 legs for a reason.
Thank you, some penicillin, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend.
All right, and Beth, who are you playing in this Numenera campaign?
I play a lovely young lady called Alicia. She is a naive Jack who bears a halo of fire. She's often seen shrouded in flames, but for some reason Josh's character doesn't seem to be affected by them. We haven't figured out why yet. She's slender, she's quite tall, she's got dark hair, and she does have weapons, but no one seems to know where she hides them. And they just appear sometimes, and then they disappear again. And
You move the blades.
that's about
in your butt.
yeah.
I know it.
And
Yeah, the blades are in my butt.
Oh, guys.
Blade
2
movement.
minutes. 2 minutes into stream, and it's already in the butt stuff.
Oh, and I have a not pterodactyl called Billy that I found, and he's very cute. And he's so cute, but he seems to be blind, or nearly
Well,
blind.
Yeah, blind visually, but he seems to be able to sense otherwise somehow.
Yes.
Definitely not visual. All right, and Cord, who are you playing in this campaign?
I am playing Delamere. He is a fat mutant nano with long 12-inch tentacle fingers. A nano is like a mage or like a spellcaster. And he works miracles, meaning he is like the healer type. He's gross. He's a gross guy. Think of a fat Gilbert Godfrey.
Wonderful. So our sort of ragtag group of adventurers, which includes Josh's character Maximus. He's not here right
It's
now.
kind of breaking up again, dude. I don't know if you can.
Reconnect the call, maybe? Here, I'll hop in.
Maybe, yeah.
Alright.
Will, do you want to call?
Sure. I will call you guys back in just a second.
Wait. All right. Thank you so much, Scarred Star. Thank you so much, Scarred Star, for the follow. You are a gentleman and a scholar. I gotta follow you donating. Thank you so much for the 10 pounds. They are going towards a suggestion. You guys can hear
Any
the
better?
call. We will see in a second. There's somebody at my door. We also got a donation from Scarred Star. We also
Hey!
have 10 pounds. Thank you so much.
Oh
It
my
was
God,
awesome.
sis.
Oh,
Just
wow.
1 second, guys.
Okay, we got to find out what the message was from that donation.
I'll go
because
find it now.
We got to see what it is that he may be interested in seeing tonight.
You can never be too sure with Gareth. Let's see. £10, 11 pence. Suggestion sent directly to Delinia. Oh my.
Okay. Bring it
Oh,
on, man.
dear.
All right, sorry about that. So yeah, some guy was trying to sell me something, which is annoying because he
Did
could
you buy
hear
it?
me talk through the door. So he was probably just like, he's still there. But anyway, I just was like, no thanks, bye. What else?
Scarred Star, thank you very much for that donation. That is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what just happened, you could scroll down to the donation section. You guys can find out how you can play along with us live in real time. We here at Encounter Roleplay are very much about collaborating with the viewers and interacting with you guys. And Delinear is a great GM where he can incorporate, as much to his chagrin, can incorporate anything that you guys can suggest. So scroll down if you want to play, see how that works. All right, I got to figure out these.
And I believe there are only 17 more follows
think it's
needed
16,
until
but-
16 more follows needed
Yeah.
until the next viewer decision. Where every 50 followers we get, we do a viewer
Yeah.
decision, which means you guys can suggest and vote on what fuckery you put us through.
Yep, it's gonna be fun, and of course it's 1,000 follows. So if you haven't hit that button already, please do. How's it going, Crimson Phoenix? How's it going, everyone? All right, do you want to remind us what happened previously, Mitch?
Yeah, I'll give a quick description of Josh's character. For sure, he's going to be coming. Scarred Star, that is absolutely going to happen. Thank you for that donation. £10. That's so generous of you. That's going to happen every time that happens, and you know what I'm talking about. It's not just going to be a one-time thing. That will
Oh
persist.
God,
will
what have you done,
persist-
Starscar?
Persist for this entire campaign.
Skype's Gareth.
So Josh's character, for those in chat, he will be here shortly. His name is Maximus. He is a mad nano, I believe, who travels through time. Unfortunately, as a low-level character, he doesn't really have a lot of control over his traveling through time, so he kind of hiccups in and out. So he may appear and disappear, which is extremely convenient for us as players if he has to be absent, but also can make for some good narrative fun.
I think Josh's is an honourable nano who travels through time.
He started off as honorable, but we did switch to the mad descriptor because he liked.
I will change that on his character sheet then.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
and-
charge it as well.
Mad is an interesting descriptor because it allows me to feed him useful bits of information at random times throughout the session. But then in exchange for that, I can also at random times intervene and tell him that his character will be doing one type of thing. So you could be walking down a road and I'll say, Josh, your character needs to stop right now and sit down and think through something. Or I could say that you want to check the door on the left as opposed to the door on the right. So it's a give and take relationship.
Thank
with
you, Undead Baron, for the host, by the way. Thanks a lot, dude.
Josh and myself. So this sort of ragtag group of adventurers
I suggest
that
one sec. I just suggest not calling Josh until he joins the call because my cameras keep getting screwed up. I fixed them
Sure.
and they keep getting screwed up because he can. So let's just roll with what we have and then we'll get him in when he shows up. All right, sorry.
No worries, sounds good. So this ragtag group of adventurers all sort of took off heading north of the river in the province of Navarine, hoping to get some sort of mercenary work. It's sort of the season of pilgrimages. There are plenty of folk who head up north to the Sky Crystal Fields, a sort of large, sort of barren expanse of land that for some reason, that folks don't know why, has these large crystals that are all sort of floating. They seem unaffected by gravity. So the landscape is littered with these shards or sort of fully intact crystal fragments of various sizes that are all just kind of suspended at various heights. So it's seen as a fairly spiritual place. These pilgrimages happen every few seasons. So our group of adventurers originally took up as just sort of mercenary protection for one of these groups of pilgrims, and after a series of complications that we won't necessarily get into because it'll take too long, it's already been quite a complicated campaign with all the inclusion and interventions from chats, donations. But where we last left off, they were all sort of together escorting a young woman named Naomi, who is up here in the north making her annual pilgrimage to her widowed husband, his grave. And she's sort of heading to pour some sort of mystical water on his grave as she does once a year. Seto has a bit of a relationship with her that he can sort of describe on his own, but for simplicity's sake, they were en route to Naomi's husband's grave. They're going to be stopping in a town called Ridgeclaw, which they've never been before. En route to Ridgeclaw, they encountered an enormous louse. It was about the size of a hot air balloon that was kind of half deflated, just sort of roaming across the landscape. Didn't think much of it as they were walking. They didn't want to bother this enormous creature, so they let it be until they heard someone on the inside calling for help. At which point started a sort of gruesome Starship Troopers-esque excavation of Cord's character Delamere, who had somehow got himself stuck in one of these 4 chambers that's on the side of this louse. He was doing some kind of research that Cord knows more about than I do, with some of the fluids or something that this louse produces for medical reasons, I'm sure. Definitely nothing weird. And they managed to get Cord's character out. And then, Cord, I'll actually let you describe what happened next as far as, well, how we ended up riding this louse and why. Cord and Will can sort of describe what precipitated to require you guys to be invested in this louse as opposed to just letting it go on its way.
We heard voices.
Yeah. So you guys heard voices. I was stuck inside doing research inside the one of the sphincteral cavities of this giant plains louse, and we managed to cut me out, me clawing from inside.
I basically stabbed you whilst cutting through.
Whilst cutting through the grody, puckering membrane of the louse.
Happens.
And it happens. And thank you so much, Thor the Crusher, for joining the adventure.
Good on Thor.
Yeah, thanks, Thor. So yeah, they cut me out. Delamere explained who he was, and then it started to like bleeding. It started to float away, and then it sort of shot out a bunch of gunk, as well as loot. So we went over and we were like, oh, what did it drop?
This
And then we found that there was a giant cylinder. Like a 12-foot tall glass cylinder with like a hand like scanner, it looked like. And Will, do you want to explain what happened there?
So I pressed the scanner. I was trying to think what my roll was, but let me see. I rolled like 100, didn't I? Oh no, 33. I don't know. Anyway, but I got some funny roll, and then this thing, I pressed my hand into it, and it like pricked my hand, and then you guys looked at it, and we used like all of our like assets and ciphers and might pools and intellect pools or whatever to find out what it was, and it turned out to be a a cloning machine which Seto had just like activated, and in 11 months' time there will be another Seto in the world. He'll be Setu.
Setu.
So
Or
Seto.
set tube.
Setu,
yeah,
true. So Seto kind of got the idea that this was somehow his ancestor, and he needs to look after this tube and wait until his ancestor is birthed. And so we basically put it inside the giant louse, and for the giant louse to carry it away off to the city that we're going to. So I think that's about where we are.
Yeah, so I don't know if any of you is like riding the louse, but definitely one or two of you are sort of poking and prodding at either side, basically just corralling this thing.
Steer it the right way. Yeah.
How does one steer a louse? It's a fairly
You set
like,
yourself on
docile-
fire and walk behind it, and when it slows down or turns direction, you get
There
a
you
little
go.
bit closer.
You give it a
Pretty
hug.
sure that's animal abuse.
And in case anyone in chat is wondering, everything that is happening here is canon within the Numenera books. This game is that weird. So if you're interested, go check it out, Monty Cook Games. There's plenty of expansions, plenty of extra content, lots of books. They're always putting out good stuff. So you guys are heading to Ridgeclaw. Delamere, you said you were heading there for some research. Have you been there before? It's totally your call.
No, he has not been there before.
Okay. Have you been?
He hears that he's going there, or he's heard that going there would be a great idea for some alchemical reagents, but he has no idea if it's actually true. But he's on his way. He's also
To see if it is true.
to seeing if it's true, and also he seems to be running from something.
Okay. Delamere, you can make an intelligence check if you like for me. The difficulty on this is going to be a 4.
Cool.
Given that you're a fairly sort of studious person, there's a chance you may know a little bit more about this place you're heading.
Okay, so it's a 4 intelligence, and cool. So which means it is what's times 3, right? Is the thing. So yeah, it's actually I have to get over a 12, and I don't. I roll a 10.
Cool.
Damn.
No worries.
So
All
I
right,
do not
so you're heading to Ridgeclaw. While you're making your way there, Naomi does explain what she knows of this city. She has been there before. Again, she makes this kind of pilgrimage route every year or so. She says that the city itself is built on the inside of an enormous crater. This crater goes so deep that no one's ever seen or been to the bottom, so it just keeps going down lower and lower. It's rumored that one of the crystals was actually sort of filling this crater, and when the anti-gravitational effect began, it sort of tore out. So no one knows where this giant crystal is, but now there's this big hole in the ground. So the city is actually built all around the rim of this crater, sort of on scaffolding. So you've got sort of many levels. It's kind of like one big sort of hollow circular kind of apartment complex going all the way down that forms this city. It's one of the largest cities north of the river, north of the province of Navarine. And sort of going down into this column, they have sort of 2 or 3, they call them airships, but really they're just kind of blimps. They have no sort of propulsion, and they actually have to be like physically towed back and forth on lines. So if you were to look all the way down this crater, you'd see all the sort of buildings around the edges, and then you'd see a couple of these blimps sort of slowly towing back and forth as sort of a rudimentary form of transportation. It's faster to take the blimp than it is to go all the way around the perimeter. So
like
that's roughly...
It's like a zip line, but with blimp.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we are heading to
blimp
Ridgeclaw. As you guys start approaching where the town will be, you can sort of see already on the horizon the size of this crater that you're approaching, and there's probably 2 or 3 stories worth of buildings high that actually are outside of this crater that go around the perimeter, most of which are seem to be sort of stable buildings or accommodations for travelers who are visiting. But you can see pretty clearly that your louse is much bigger than any of these accommodations are going to be able to afford. You can see off to the east there's some sort of rising sort of hills that may have caverns, caves, things like that. But even at this distance, you can tell you're definitely going to have to find somewhere to park your louse. Because it's not
You know
gonna
what I mean?
it's not going to fit. Yeah, it's not going to fit in these stables at all.
Okay. So I guess are all of us just kind of traveling together in a vague kind of around one another? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sorry. Actually, it's a good point, Will. The young man who was the attendant to Elijah, who was the exiled prince who you
Jake.
killed, Jacob. Yeah.
Jake.
Jacob.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
There we go.
I
the
mean,
one.
he's a teenager and he's a mutant and he has a strange sort of hardened backbone structure. But we won't go further than that for the sake of trademark and copyright infringement. Jacob decided to stay back in the village. He gave you a couple sort of scowls, Will, as you guys were sort of packing up to leave. But he stayed in the village with the sort of stork mutant folks by the invisible lake.
Okay.
So it is just
So he
you
didn't
you
come with
guys.
us?
Nope,
Aw.
it's just you guys and Naomi and Billy, of course.
Cool. I turn to the group and say, is the louse thing normal? Will they find it odd?
I have no idea, but I'm sure if
me
we
neither.
ask, maybe we'll find out.
If we ask nicely, I mean, it's not doing any harm.
Or we just don't ask and we act as if we own the place and it's normal. I
That's
think
not
that's a
very
good
nice.
idea. Let's try that.
That's
Let's-
not very nice.
What? What's not very nice?
Acting like we own the place. We don't own the place.
Yeah, but you gotta have confidence. If anything I've learned in this world, you gotta have confidence.
You can have confidence without being a complete tool.
Yeah, but I'm not saying everybody let's be like a tool, and then if we're a tool, then they're gonna let us have the planes license.
Come
Try
on.
to-
Let us continue.
In the context
Okay.
of this conversation, I want to get into the minds of Seto and Alicia a little bit. How do you guys feel about Delamere? Myth, why don't you throw up the picture of roughly what you look like into chat so chat can be
Oh, damn,
really
I gotta-
understanding. They
gotta
can
look
really
for it.
understand what's going on here.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try to find that picture again. I don't know where it is. I may have saved it. Yeah. Anyway, speak. Try to find it.
Confidence and panache. How's it going, Z-Taz? Fuck, haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, Seto and Alicia, how do you guys feel about this
Um,
strange-looking figure who emerged from the side anus of a plains louse?
Seto
I-
probably thinks it's normal.
Alicia's not quite sure, but I mean, he hasn't done anything wrong, apart from possibly smelling a bit. but he hasn't exactly been nice. She's just a bit meh. Wait until he does something interesting and then see what she thinks.
So
Other
yeah,
than,
Seto thinks
coming out of the butt of a...
Seto thinks it's perfectly normal. It's probably this happens all the time.
Yeah, it's no more or less weird than like being in a tavern and like having to order a drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this girl sets herself on fire, so that's not normal, really, is it? So if someone that comes out of
That
our house
is normal for her, though.
Yeah, but to him, I mean, he all he's met so far is weird people, so he thinks like the weird is normal.
Yeah,
pretty
you're not
much.
weird.
Cool. Now, Delamere, you sort of notice as you're traveling, sort of for the better part of a half day heading towards Ridgeclaw from having exited the Louse. Naomi is traveling with them. Naomi's got a pretty severe wound on her leg. It's been bandaged. The bandages have been replaced once or twice, so it is like being cared for. But obviously, she's been exerting herself a lot more than she should be, so it's not really getting a chance to kind of seal up and sort of coagulate scab, if you will. Given that you are a healer, would you do anything with that over the course of 5 hours of travel?
You know, I could probably take a look at that, if you wish.
Now, Naomi's kind of passive and reticent on the best of days, so interacting with someone who looks like you, Cord, she's extremely reserved, so she kind of just pulls back a little bit and gives you a couple glances, but beyond that, doesn't really say much. She's distrustful, but she's barely sort of hobbling on her.
I'm probably like overwatching,
Your
like a hawk.
wound looks disgusting. May I help you before you die? From said wound.
She does talk English,
She's
I
going
don't
to
know
look
that.
to
common,
Not spoken to
whatever
me.
the language would be.
she's going to look to Seto and just sort of look back like, what?
yeah. What the fuck is this guy?
Let me take a look at it. And he like wiggles his fingers towards it.
Have I seen you heal anything? So
No, no one's seen me do any of my stuff yet. I'm
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
weirdo right now.
Yeah, I'm like, you look unclean.
What?
You look unclean. Maybe you should not be treating wounds.
Oh, I'm very clean. I don't look clean. It's more of like a deterrent. Nobody will mess with somebody who looks gross. So I mean, if a lot of the creatures of the wilds smell me coming, and they know that it is I don't smell appetizing. Correct? Right? We're all in agreement there. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, so
Alicia just kind of walks over and she's just like,
it's more of a survival tactic.
you just
But I'm
climbed
clean,
out
I'm
of the anus,
Side anus.
side anus
Sanus.
It's the
of
sanus.
a plains louse.
Yes.
I doubt you're clean enough to treat wounds without infecting them.
You see him spit on his tentacly fingers, and he just goes, and then he puts them together, and then like he puts the palms together, and then they just start to wriggle, and he's like, "There we go."
Nope.
What do you mean?
Not clean. She digs around in her bag for some hand sanitizer or
You
something.
just got your 2 fingers spat on.
and he's exactly, and he's like,
Well, I'm clean. Let me let me take a look at that gash.
but he reaches out with his tentacly fingers, and then I guess just like in a most like ungraceful way, the tentacles just start to slap like onto the wound.
There we go. There we are.
Yeah, exactly. They start fapping onto the gash, and then he, and then it just, and then from there, like he holds, and then the tentacles start to actually grasp, I guess where the wound is, and they start to constrict a little bit, and then she probably feels a bit of warmth, and then he lifts his hands, and then she gains. I mean, do you want me to roll stats for it, or is this all?
Yeah, explain for chat what your focus actually gives you.
Sure. I actually gain Healing Touch, which is I also have Alleviate, so I could cancel or cure any malady, such as a disease or poison. So would that count? Probably like an infection.
I mean, if there is an infection, I mean, it's obviously like more seriously is just like the gaping wound itself more so than the potential for infection.
Sure. Wound agape. Yeah. So I spend 2 intellect points. So in this game, you have different pools, which are your health and your abilities, and you constantly are fluctuating these numbers to keep you alive and to cast spells and do things like that. So I'm going to spend 2 intellect points, actually 1 because I have an edge, so that means that cancels one of them. So I'm going to spend 1 of my intellect points, roll a d6, and she's going to gain that much health. 3.
Cool. So I'll say, her wounds are still bandaged, so you can't really see this in an exposed sort of way, but there's maybe a couple of spots where you can see there's some exposed skin on either side of the bandage. That's fairly red and swollen.
Yeah.
The swelling immediately dies down. The sort of returns to its sort of normal coloration. Definitely had a healing effect. I'm going to ask for Will. Can you roll me? 1, 2, 3, 4. A D5, which I know isn't a real dice, but.
Okay. Sure. And also, can I just say, Hannah has just brought a pink jumper that says Encounter Roleplay on it. Where'd you get that from, Hannah? Was it here? Thanks so much, guys. We still need to, I think, ship 4. If you haven't ordered your own hoodie or T-shirt of Encounter Roleplay, please do, and get yourself some swag.
Sweet swag.
Thanks, Hannah. 1d5, a 3.
Okay. Ooh. And then roll me a D100, please.
Oh my lord. 15.
Very cool. Okay.
When your DM gives you that look. 30 minutes into Numenera, chill.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, Cord, your tentacle slapping does seem to heal her wound for the most part. Doesn't heal it totally. She took somewhere in the realm of 5 damage, so she'll still need a little bit of natural recovery, but she's definitely better off. She's able to walk now without her crutches, so is there any kind of glow, or does anything visual happen when you heal, or is it just the uncomfortable slapping?
It's pretty much just an uncomfortable slapping.
Bye, love you.
Bye, love you. And there's a it leaves definitely like some sort of residual slime afterward. It's not just like a clean heal. It's just like, and he's like, there you are, and this doesn't mind, doesn't even like wipe up the slime, and he's just like, there, that should be good. And then he probably turns and looks at everybody else as if nothing happened.
Yeah, how does Seto and Alicia respond to this? She's clearly better. I mean, she puts weight back on it, and she's kind of amazed at herself, and she starts poking, pretty aggressively, and there isn't a lot of pain, so she's pretty surprised, and
Yeah,
seems to have been real.
I shrug my shoulders. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Alicia's kind of probably fairly grossed out about this. She's like, ew. She goes and finds Billy. So keep the scary man away from Billy.
I don't think So's too grossed out. He regularly eviscerates people, so it's not
Cool.
too
True.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah, so Naomi's very grateful, and she sort of gives you sort of 3 seconds of sustained eye contact to Delamere and says, thank you.
Seto is
but
jealous.
she's kind of confused as much as she is grateful, so she doesn't say much more than that. But otherwise, you guys are approaching Ridgeclaw on your giant louse.
And
Cool.
Josh should be here in the next 5 minutes or so. He said he's really sorry he got caught up in traffic coming out of Billericay, and he keeps shouting and swearing at me.
It's all good. As long as he wasn't
I-
playing Halo, it's all good.
Seto turns to Alicia and says, I have never been to one of your cities before. What is it like?
They're usually quite city-like. Loud, lots
I
of
see.
people. Generally, lots of places where you can buy ciphers and all kinds of other crap that you don't really need. But I've never
What
been to
is
this
a
one,
cipher?
so Alicia pulls out a gun type thing. It looks like talking about Halo, it probably looks like what a plasma pistol or something from Halo. And she's just like, "This is the cipher," and then she just puts it away.
So that
She's
gun
just
is
like,
a cipher?
one of many different types. Don't they just work?
Oh, you mean
once?
artifacts of Numenera?
No, artifacts are different. And she pulls out kind of a spray can and she's like, "This is an artifact."
Oh,
And
God,
she pulls out the
confused.
gun again. She's like, "This is a cipher."
So that gun is a cipher. And that
Yes.
spray paint can is an artifact.
Yes.
Right. Confused. Anyway,
Artifacts work more than once.
People are
Ciphers work
staring.
once.
people are staring. I don't know
Set
what
us
to do about
staring.
this louse.
Should we put it somewhere so my ancestor is safe?
What?
I don't think they
Oh.
make stables big
the
enough.
clone.
Stables. What are these?
They're where you put horses.
I don't see any horses.
The
Alicia
mouse,
turns around and just keeps on walking. She can't be dealing with
the
it.
pack beasts. Is where they are usually put.
The bipedal camels.
Yes.
That's the ones that
Google it. It's hilarious.
I'm googling it for chat.
Yep.
I see.
Staples. We gotta get to a Staples. I got a couple things I gotta print. I got resumes on this hard drive. It's actually
Stable.
a Numenera.
Not staples.
He pulls out a thumb drive and he's like,
This only works once as well. Fucking stupid. 60 gigs my ass.
Normally at this point, Jekyll says something like, "I'll do the talking." Either of you going?
Who's Jeckley?
An
A
old
friend.
I'll do the talking.
Oh, well, I just posted a link of the bipedal camel in chat and it got deleted.
That's because you suck. What? Do we not do any links anymore in chat?
No, it's not deleted on mine. I think maybe because it's fucking huge, like the biggest link you might ever see.
I literally just got a picture and copied the link.
Like Google URL, Sean. Huge fucking.
Yeah, he goes,
I'll do the talking.
as he sounds much more like Gilbert Godfrey now.
Yep.
I say, very well, good.
All right, unless anyone,
The mutant is the face man.
yeah, unless
got
anyone
this.
suggests otherwise, you can approach one of the stables.
Alicia's just going to kind of sit down and wait for Max to turn up before actually going into the city because
this
he's
is
been held up.
But Max is with us. Are you going to turn around and get him?
Yeah, we'll say at this point that because Max is going to be showing up, he didn't disappear this time, but he's just sort of walking like really intently, like thinking about something and just completely non-responsive.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of wait around, just like poke him until he starts responding. Max. Max. Max.
Thank you,
Nope.
Fly.
Okay.
Yeah, IV for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. Yeah, I go with Delamere then. I walk with him to these stables.
Yep. All right, you guys approach one of the stables. You can see off to the right. There's a sort of crank lift. Most of the sort of scaffolding is made of wood, so it's pretty rudimentary. There's lots of sort of creaking. Anyone uncomfortable with heights would be like super uncomfortable pretty much everywhere in this city. So there's a crank lift that sort of seems to take you down into the city off to the right. Stables. They're only sort of walled on three sides, so they're sort of open on the front. And this is sort of a similar pattern that goes all the way around Ridgeclaw. You've got, a set of stables. There's maybe an inn with a tavern, then one of these crank lifts, then another set of stables, then another sort of place to stay, and then another one of the cranks. So yeah, stables open on the front, mostly thatched roofs. and you can see that there's sort of a man standing there kind of leaning on one of the fences, and he's got some sort of straw or weed in his mouth that he's chewing on. Probably
Got some
middle-aged.
weed.
Nice.
He's chewing on some weed, yeah. Probably middle-aged, balding, strong-looking forearms, but otherwise a pretty gaunt-looking dude.
So a lonely
And
guy.
he's-
I get it.
And he's not like surprised or frightened by the giant louse, but he's giving you some serious side eye. Like he doesn't, like this is not something he's seen that often.
Cool. Yes, I walk out to him confidently with Delamere, and then look at Delamere to talk.
Greetings, fellow mortal. We have here a beast that needs holding. Will you and are you capable of holding said creature? I'm not sure if you noticed, but he's a plains louse. Also, do you have any sort of harness or rope we can use? Because right now it's kind of erratic path we're taking.
Hello, my name is Seto Yeshua.
I said
I
I'd do
bow.
the talking. This is Seto Yashua.
He'll hork like a huge loogie sort of right beside him.
I catch him.
I use a speed bonus. All right.
Yeah, he'll take a long pause, taking his time, give a bit of a hork, and then continue sort of chewing. And he'll look to you, Delamere, rather than Seto, and say,
I try to hork back. In response.
"You're
to his
riding
hork.
that. You're riding that thing."
Not yet. We plan to, right? Yeah, that's how we're gonna ride it, right? That's what we're doing here. We're looking for a saddle.
Maybe.
Right.
I thought
yes.
you were doing the talking.
Yeah. So we're gonna get a saddle and we're gonna ride it. I've named him Boris. We think it's a male. Probably not. But anyway, looking for something we could hold him here. Can we pay you some money and you could like keep an eye on him? Make sure, he doesn't, louse into the woods.
He's gonna look over his shoulder at his stables, and then look back to you guys, and say, "Those things have 4 anuses."
Yeah, there's the one in the back. That's normal poopy place, and then there are the sanus sacks that come from the side. Believe me, you if you could get any closer to me, you could reek, just like I can, because I have bathed in the fluids of the sanus, and I've been reborn as. Anyway, do you have the saddle or not?
Yeah, he's gonna say that he has no saddle that he's heard of. He's familiar with plains louse. He's seen them. He's never seen anyone interact with them deliberately. He obviously thinks they're pretty gross.
Could you make one?
I've been playing a lot of Ark recently. Do you have a saddle?
Yeah, he's gonna say he's not an artisan, but you can talk to Reams in the city. Reams might be able to help you out.
Maybe with just a rope long enough, or a couple ropes, we could just, drag him like a balloon. Right? That makes sense to me.
He'll
We
say,
should,
"Yeah,
we should
they've
speak
got-
to this dream man.
they've got ropes in the city too." He'll offer to house your louse. He can't keep it from being weathered. Like he has nowhere to put it as far as it being covered. But he can tie it down, sort of to several of his posts that he would tie down a number of the bipedal camels to. So he can keep it. He can keep it out here, but it's going to be exposed.
This thing's the size of like a
Can't-
hot air balloon, right? You said?
Yeah, like a half deflated hot air balloon.
That's so descriptive. Okay, all right. Great. Yeah, he's just.
Okay, so how much for the how much monies do you want for this transaction, sir?
Well,
Stop
normally
spitting.
it'd be
My mouth is getting...
normally only 5 shins a beast, but given that I'm going to need at least 5 ropes for this thing, 25 shins will probably do it.
Good golly. I have 8. What do you say for 8?
I say 8's a mite less than 25.
Yes. Seems.
I have 13.
Oh boy.
Jackley had a lot, so if anybody looted that guy.
I'm carrying your pack.
Oh, he had like 30 something.
Sure. Okay. Well, so should we just say 30?
Yeah,
Also, there were another 75 in Lyric's stuff.
because
Don't think
I remember
looted
you
that.
weren't taking pay and he was taking all your money.
Yeah, you gave me all the money. For
Josh is
Whoa.
here.
Oh, Josh! Hi,
By the way,
Josh.
Oh, I knew
I
he was
am-
here the whole time. Hey, what's up, buddy?
the apologies cannot be. Oh,
That's okay.
It's all good.
I can't even. I can't. But anyway, yeah.
can't
sorry,
even right
I'm
now.
here. I'll let you guys finish the scene.
Yeah. So I have something like 43 shins on me. And I like count out the 25 and give them to him.
Give you a gruff nod and turn to go fetch some rope.
Excellent. Now, what are we to do here in this city of Ridgeclaw?
Well, are you asking him or Naomi? Naomi would have told you sort of en route that there's a tavern that she always, a tavern inn that she always stays at.
Okay.
It's the only place she knows. She tends not to like go out when she's in the city. Again, given that she's a fairly docile person, so she only knows of the one inn. She knows how to get there.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I kind of bow shortly to her and say, "Lead on, Lady Naomi."
And Josh, now that you're back, we'll bring you up to speed. Maximus didn't disappear this time. He didn't fall through the ground again.
Oh dear.
This time we just said, because we knew you were coming, that you were just really intensely in thought, trying to calculate something. So the whole time that they were sort of walking, you were just 100% non-responsive, like touching, talking, nothing would have adjusted or sort of altered you. You were just kind of like muttering to yourself while following
Yeah.
the group.
Cool. I presume that we took the whatever it was, the tick thing.
Yeah, you herded the louse.
Yeah, we turned it out. So I've probably spent most of my time just sort of prodding this cylinder and shit.
Cool.
Ooh, sexy art.
It's all DeviantArt, baby.
All natural.
Oh, natural. Yeah, the crits aren't natural. Cool. So you guys enter into the city, and I'll give a brief description of what Ridgeclaw is really like. Josh, you missed it. Ridgeclaw is built around the sort of perimeter of a crater that goes so deep that you can't see the bottom. So there's just this giant hole all the way down to the point where it goes, you can't see anything, no light sort of reaches. And the city is built all around the perimeter, sort of going deeper and deeper until just about where the light would stop. That's kind of where the city stops. It's all built on this sort of scaffolding that's braced into the walls. Mostly wood, so fairly rickety, although you can see quite a few sizable buildings, signs and things. So it seems well secured. And there's a couple of these airships that go by back and forth, although they're not propelled by anything. They're kind of on lines, and they have to be manually towed across. So there's 3 or 4 of those all the way down, and they're just sort of a faster route to get across than going around the perimeter, given that the radius or the diameter of this crater is probably the better part of half a kilometer or so, 3/4 of a kilometer. I don't know what that is in miles, but
It's a considerable distance.
yeah, it's a big hole, big friggin' hole. So as you guys enter down one of these crank sort of elevator lifts to the first level of Ridgeclaw, you notice not only that it's sort of a bottomless pit. Again, you can't see the bottom. You can't see any light reaching to a floor that you can see. The other big thing that you notice is that there's quite a lot of commotion in the city. Probably got a population, over 5,000 or so. There's quite a lot of folks that live here, but there's a lot of commotion out on the streets. They seem to be setting up for some kind of a festival. There's people putting up big banners and ribbons. Everyone seems really happy and positive. Everyone's sort of excited. There's quite a lot of buzz around. But I would also like a perception check from each of you. The base difficulty on this is a 4.
Awesome. And yes, Seto still has the sonic screwdriver. He keeps it tucked away in a pocket of his bamboo armor. Or a fold of it.
I am skilled in perception, so does that go down to a 2?
It would, yeah.
Yeah, I got a
I
success.
got a 13, so this is success.
Sweet.
Okay, and what did everybody else get here? Success.
Cool. I'm gonna drop mine down by 1 difficulty, and then
Okay.
use my edge. So for 3, which is a success.
Nice.
So Elysia and Maximus are successful. Will, is that 12? Was that your roll?
That is a 12, yeah.
Okay. So Seto's good, and Delamere.
Sorry, just one sec. All right, Delamere. Where's so many windows? Difficulty 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
One sec. Cool. All right. So you all notice, conveniently, one strange feature of Ridgeclaw, as Naomi is kind of leading you to the only tavern that she knows of, you don't notice any street signs. In fact, you don't notice any signs at all. There's no like sign over the buildings, like on the outside, to let you know that it's a, like, you know, this is a tavern or this is a blacksmith. Like, there's no signs on the outside of anything, even signs with images. There's no little sort of street intersection signs that show, you know, the names of streets that you're heading on. There's just doesn't seem to be any writing anywhere in this city at all. So it's kind of disorienting.
I was really hoping you were going to say you notice in the center of this hole is a giant unexploded nuclear bomb. And I'm just going to be like, we're a megaton! Hell yeah!
Yeah, so there are no signs anywhere, so it makes it tough to kind of track. Naomi thankfully seems to know where she's going. Otherwise, you'd get lost real quick. There's probably, I would say, like 4 streets worth of depth sticking out from the wall, if that makes sense. So you'd have like up to 3 or 4 parallel streets at any given time running around the perimeter. And then again, obviously, those sort of zip lines that go back and forth, and then going the long way sort of around the ridge itself. Does that sort of make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes. So it probably doesn't think that the lack of signs is unusual, because he's never been in city. In fact, he's probably just overwhelmed by the entire
Yeah.
size of everything. Yeah.
There's quite a few sort of in exchange or as a counterpoint to there being no signs or any kind of markings anywhere. There's lots of criers and messengers. So you see lots of folks, you know, running around with sort of satchels, delivering things. Lots of folks sort of standing at corners, you know, stepping into windows, calling out, and then stepping back. And you get these kind of chains of call outs. There seem to be sort of fixtured oral messengers that sort of stay in certain places, and then when they hear a message come from one direction, they kind of pass it along, so that the city sort of communicates that way. Because again, yeah, basically, yeah. BOGO for the next 2 days, that kind of stuff.
BOGO.
Cool. So Naomi leads you into a tavern. Again, no sign, no name that you can see. You enter in. It seems to be sort of typical sort of 2-story structure. You would have rooms upstairs and sort of a main sort of kitchen / bar area on the main floor. There's stairs to the right leading down to a basement. Capacity would probably only hold 50 or so folks, so it's not an enormous place. There's 2 or 3 individuals sitting at tables, sort of either drinking, chatting with one another. Behind the bar is, a sort of middle-aged woman who is doing what bartenders do, which is perpetually drying a mug.
I
Confirmed, I am a bartender. It's
put a hand on Naomi's shoulder as she goes in, and I say, if these men in here attack me, then stay back.
She'll kind of like, her eyes say she's shocked, but her blushing says she's really intrigued. But otherwise, she'll give you kind of a quick nod.
She's a woman. Got it.
Wow.
Careful what you say, Cord.
Yikes. Yeah, no kidding.
Because the last time he went into a bar, he was attacked and had to murder 3 like Imperial guys.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, you are still wanted by the Empire. But that's not important here.
Not me.
I mean, in Seto's mind, he's not, because he's in.
That's true. Jackie.
Yeah, they attacked him. Delamere, you get some strange looks right off the bat. You noticed while walking here, again, amidst all the commotion, there were sort of mutants about. So you're not like categorically seen as weird, but like you in particular are like not that desirable, as you know. So the 3 gentlemen who are sitting drinking, 2 of them are together having a chat. One's on his own, sipping from a mug. All 3 of them kind of look and give you some scowls a little bit before turning back. But yeah, otherwise Naomi walks up to the bartender, says hello to Beckles. She just calls her Beckles, and they have a bit of a back and forth chat. Beckles unfortunately informs Naomi that because of the festival, she doesn't have any rooms. There are no rooms at all. The festival starting tonight, going on for the next 2-3 days. She's all booked up. So
Oh dear.
I have a good idea. I know where we could stay.
yeah, anyone can pipe in while they're sort of chatting. Naomi kind of stepped forward to have her little chat, exchange sort of friendly greetings with Beckles, whom she knows from coming every year. So
I have an idea. If we need to stay somewhere, we can use the Laos.
No.
Furnished and okay, well, maybe not.
I say, it does not matter. I will meditate outside.
I hate elves. Okay, so we're looking for a place to stay. There's a festival in town. What's going on in this festival? Tell me about this festival.
Beckles is going to lean back a little bit while drying her mug and say, well, it's the...
Here, let me
The
help,
annual-
you dry some mugs.
And he grabs a mug from the bar and starts to try to dry it with his slippery,
Just-
slimy hands.
Covering it in... Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, done. And it's like covered in like this murky slime.
Thank you, General Starrog, for fully welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar, so.
Okay, when you try to put the mug back, she's going to just immediately... Whoa. No, you can keep that, sweetheart. You can keep that.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
But thank you for trying. And she's going to sort of not subtly pull the rest of the mugs sort of towards her on the bar so that they're in front of her, not you.
Sorry. So tell me about the festival in town, please.
She'll say, yeah, it's the annual Synesthesia Festival. We hold them every year, twice a year. It's folks come from all around. Marjorie sells her milks. Sufjan's got all his smoke weeds. Felicia sets up her fabric halls. It's the biggest biggest thing this side of the river. Goes on for 3 days only. Everyone gets involved. It's the best you can imagine. Better than any of that imperial stuff. They've got all those restrictions on substances and chemicals and whatnot. It's a hell of a time. She'll suggest if you do still need somewhere to stay, you could head to Veblen's Inn. She says that Veblen's always got 1 or 2 rooms that nobody wants to take because they're kind of out of the way. So you can always check in with Veblen. She usually doesn't get filled up until the 2nd or 3rd day of the festival.
Doesn't sound quite so bad. I've been in worse places, so it can't be that bad. All right, so Veblen.
Veblen's, and she'll give you the instructions on how to get to Veblen's. She's going to say, take your 2nd left, your 3rd right, down 7 levels, then take your 4th left, your 1st left, then your 6th right, your 1st right, your 5th right, and then go up a level, and you'll be at Veblen's.
Excellent. Seto's like memorized it. Good.
Great. So we gotta go take the 7th left, take a 4th fork, down a couple sets of stairs, over the vault, down the elevator, and take a right. That's what I heard. Seto, did you get that?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna follow you.
Naomi is going to kind of just look to you, Seto. She'll now follow you as well. She reminds you she doesn't know anywhere else beyond the one route that they took to get here to Beckles' joint. So
Very well. You are welcome to accompany me. And I head out, taking the 4th right, 7th left, and down a million staircases until I find the meaning of life.
So it's a little more
42.
complicated than that, unfortunately. As you're heading, because you didn't ask for any other instruction, you took the sort of oral one. Sometimes you get to intersections where you
I
can't
always go
tell
oral.
if this is a legitimate left or right, because there's like some alleys that lots of people seem to be using, but they're not as well sort of traveled, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to distinguish like what is a street and what is just an alley as far as doing this counting. So any of you can make an intelligence task, difficulty of 7 as a base, just to not get lost. This is not to
7.
find rebels. This is just to not get lost.
7.
This is what, a
failure.
21?
I literally couldn't do it. Which makes sense because Seto's No clue.
Yeah, so for chat who's tracking, any difficulty above 6 is actually impossible to succeed on. How the mechanic works in this game is you reduce the difficulty by being proficient in certain skills, by having assets and advantages, and as well by spending effort. So you can sort of expend your sort of stat pools to reduce DCs. So in this case, you would have to reduce the DC at least somewhat for this to even be possible, let alone viable.
Hey, thanks,
I'm
Finbar
gonna
for the
reach-
host. Cheers, dude.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
reduce it by 1,
Using-
and then just give it a shot on this, using my
oh yeah, 'cause you can
intelligence.
spend it. Yeah.
But it should be fun. 'Cause I'm only gonna try it on a 1, and no, I didn't think so.
Okay.
Because Alicia is kind of skilled in perception, would she be able to kind of tell, like, seeing?
I'll say you can have one asset, so you can reduce it once because it's like you'll make sure like not to go in circles in like the same place twice, sort of thing. But it is mostly like intellect based as you're walking through this maze and getting turned around by all these people. So
Okay, in that case, I will take the asset from my being skilled in perception. I'll also drop it by another one, so that would knock it down to a 5.
You could.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use 3, right? To knock it down.
it costs 3 points to knock it down. Yeah.
Alright,
I
so
feel
it's
like
2
we're
to
getting
an edge.
lost.
Cool. So you said it was
And
7.
it's
it's
2 because I have an edge,
6
so it's a 5.
successes.
I failed. I got a 14.
Okay, so you guys are definitely gonna get lost.
Yep.
So you wander around Ridgeclaw for the better part of an hour. It's probably getting close to dinner time. You're all feeling a little bit hungry. You're wandering around left, right. You can see that some of the sort of festival activities are getting set up. So some of the tents are being sort of erected. They're getting set up. You can start to smell lots of different incenses being burned. So folks, again, this is a synesthesia festival. It's meant to sort of stimulate all of your senses at once. You're starting to smell lots of different things, everything from spices to flowers, different foods, different types of sort of smoke as well. You can sort of, again, get the sense of general sort of excitement from all the crowds. But coming up on dusk, you guys are definitely lost. And you are just going to stumble into a building to just ask someone where the hell we are, how do we get to X? And you're going to
Yeah,
stumble into... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Alicia's probably like, do you know what? These guys have got no clue what's going on. She's like, just fucking ask for directions.
all the
A man
all the
never
guys,
asks
like,
for
I'm
directions.
not lost. I know exactly where we are.
And she just kind of storms into the first building that like the next building she comes up across. She walks over. What kind of building is it?
Well, actually, you can roll me a d12 to find out what building you stumble into.
I got a 3. I walk into a brothel.
Yep, it's Murder Town.
Welcome to Murder Town, everyone.
You actually walk into a general store.
Awesome.
So-
I walk up to the cashier and I'm just like, how the hell do I get to... I can't even remember the name of the...
Veblin's.
Veblin's.
How do I get to Veblin's Tavern?
Okay, so the man behind the counter is fairly sort of built, large guy, probably in his mid-30s. Biggest thing you notice is that his tattoos are covered in hands. His hands are covered in tattoos. He has no tattoos anywhere else as far as you can tell. He's just wearing sort of an open collared shirt and sort of leather trousers, but his hands covered in intricate sort of tribal-esque kind of tattoos. And they seem permanent because they've got that sort of faded bluish look to them. At one point they probably wore a black ink. Yeah, big strapping dude with the tattooed hands. And he's going to repeat the instructions. He's going to say Veblin's, second left, third right, down 7, fourth left, first left, sixth right, first right, fifth right, up.
So we
we've
literally
crossed
haven't
the
moved.
street. That's what we've done. We've like circled round basically.
We all failed, and then she was like, "I'll go in here." Great. I'm gonna play back the stream, and I'll get back to you where we should go.
Can you draw me a map?
It's a lot of going down and stuff. This may be hard to display visually, but I mean, it is the Synesthesia Festival, so.
Alicia, when you ask him to draw you a map, he's immediately going to look over your shoulder to see if there's anyone else in the general store other than the group that you came in with. Seto, Delamere, and Maximus, would you have entered with her into the general store after she sort of barged in?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maximus is probably like Maximus has probably like picked up something like I don't know. I imagine like a shovel, and he's just like, yeah, I could really do a shovel. I haven't had a good shovel in ages. Yeah, no. And he's like just buying like random crap, and he's like, no, I really need that.
Okay. Alicia, the minute you mention him drawing you a picture, he does a really urgent check. His sort of pupils dilate, checks over your shoulder to make sure that no one else is in his general store, and then immediately walks around his counter, sort of slams his door shut, slides the lock in, and just says, "You folks aren't from here, are you?"
What gave you that idea?
It's the fact
you're-
that we don't have shovels. Don't
You
worry.
don't need a shovel, Maximus.
Yeah, Delamere, you're going to get a similar social neglect. He's going to turn to Alicia
Oh, darn.
and sort of walk over
would've
to the
got him.
counter and say, "Miss, you've never been to Ridgeclaw, I imagine."
No, but we really need to find a place to stay, so you can either draw me a map or tell me somewhere closer.
No one, Miss. Excuse my presumption. No one draws anything here. No one writes. No one draws. No one puts any pen or charcoal or ink to any surface at all anymore. We
Then draw it in blood.
know that some of us tried that. It doesn't work that way since the curse started. We don't write anything, and you'd be
The
better off
curse?
Did you say
you'd be better
curse?
off not asking anyone else. Most of the
Okay. Can
folk-
you direct us to the tavern? I will buy you a drink.
Give me a persuasion roll, intellect.
I'm just looking at Alicia like, really? Curse? No, not gonna ask any questions. Gonna
Just you're gonna leave that plot hook hanging, are you?
I'm getting there. What level?
Pollard. Pollard is very sort of a heroic sort of guy. Seeing that Naomi is wounded, he is sympathetic to your sort of group, and also obviously you're in out of your depth, not having been here, not knowing about the curse. Base difficulty is only a 3, persuasion intellect.
Dude is like, oh, this is evil curse, and we're like, where's the bar?
I got a 9. Success.
Yeah, he says if you wait outside a moment, he can close up shop and he can walk you to Veblin's.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very nice. of you.
I just walk over and I'm like, is this shovel okay? This isn't cursed.
He's going to give
Alicia glares at Maximus.
a bit of a raised eyebrow, and he'll say, "Yeah, if there's anything you folks need to buy first."
Well, yeah. As soon
how
as we
mu-
get
how
this
much is the
purse
shovel?
over with, we can probably get into it and buy stuff. You said purse this whole time, right?
Do you want that shovel?
Yeah, how much is the shovel?
1 shin.
Cool.
And you guys can actually roll oddities if you want to buy any oddities.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, I love
I
oddities.
want another oddity.
I love oddities.
So odd.
So, oddities,
What is
for
it?
people who don't know what they are, they're artifacts that really don't do much. They're kind of silly. Like, I think Jeckley had an
Trinkets.
oddity. Yeah, the little trinkets. His first oddity was a wine glass that was unbreakable, but it always refilled itself. And then he traded that for a pair. It was like a idiot, yeah. For a pair of shoes for a tripedal creature. And
So
that
it wasn't
was
a
the
pair.
worst thing.
You were
It was a
literally
set.
you were literally a barman who has just been like, here's a wine glass that automatically refills and can't be broken by drunk, middle-aged, sort of soccer mums. What? Yeah, I'll just give that away.
Exactly.
That's the worst.
Yeah, are you saying I get unlimited white Zin?
It's the only. It's the only.
Amazing.
All right,
Doing
give
the
me
Tour de
D1.
Francia forever.
What is it?
Is it D100 for oddity?
Yeah, I'm just going to assign you each one of the many tables because there's a ton of these.
38.
Oh,
38.
right. I'm rolling in chat again.
Yep, that girl.
26.
Ooh, very interesting, Beth. Beth, you see in sort of one of the shelves, there's a pouch with pellets in it. So it kind of looks like a bag of marbles. And there's a little sort of, no, there isn't a card describing what it does.
Sweet sack.
There's a pouch with these marbles in it. There's 6 of them. When you sort of look over it, Pollard, who is the name of the general store owner, the man with the tattooed hands, Pollard is going to say that those are for neutralizing food and water. You drop one of those pellets into any water or sprinkle it over food, crush it, and it removes all taste and color and flavor and everything. Just kind of neutralizes. It still functions like food and liquid, still provides sustenance, but neutralizes anything else.
Ingy.
Will with a 26. That bag of 6 pellets, Beth, by the way, is 2 shins.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Will, I'm going to give this one to Cord just because yeah. So, Cord.
Because you'll die.
Well, how much is it, first of all?
This would probably only be 1 shin because Pollard's probably been trying to sell it for a long time
Marvelous.
and
Good, because
wants to buy it.
All right, cool.
It's
buy
a
that
fist-sized, and I'm reading right from the book here, quote unquote, a fist-sized hunk of wet flesh that never dries out and makes a purring noise when it's stroked.
Amazing. Ah, good. That is so good. All right.
Ew.
It's a donger.
It's a donger. Oh, this is beautiful.
I'm sorry. So the 71
Please don't be sorry.
for Josh, and then Myth roll a D100 for Will's oddity.
I like this rolling for each other's oddities.
Yeah, it's actually good.
Okay, Josh, 71.
87. It's a gooey tribble.
Okay, so Josh, in addition to your shovel, of course, you can purchase your shovel. This guy also sells like all normal equipment and wares that you might need. Josh, you find a fossilized shell that Pollard explains when it's put into water, it sort of uncurls and sort of starts to move, and then you take it out of water and it sort of immediately freezes in whatever shape it was in from having sort of moved around. That'll cost you 4 shins.
Hey, Ingy just donated £5. Thanks so much, Ingy.
Thank you so much, Ingy. You can do something in game if
Yeah.
you want. What's a good Numenera $5 thing?
You can give someone a nat 20, give someone a nat 1. You
yes.
can name an NPC. You could give someone. I don't
Ingy,
know.
if you want, you can make Will's oddity that he's about to get. You can make it an artifact instead.
Yeah.
Oh my
Artifacts.
God.
Or
Artifacts are
maybe
the
create your
more
own
powerful.
oddity.
Or make up an oddity, make up an artifact.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. And also that brings us.
Hey!
That levels us up.
Oh, yeah.
To we are now level 8. Thank you guys so much. And we're
Hey.
starting with 3. What is it? Yeah, whatever. We're starting with some 2. That's really cool, guys. Thank you so much. If you don't know what
Thanks
we're doing,
so
we're all
much,
trying
guys.
to get to Comic-Con 2016, and these levels are helping us get there. Thank you so much,
The
guys.
hype is real. Name an NPC,
right.
Hannah.
Indeed.
Done. Done.
Done it,
Okay,
there you
cool. Yeah. Oh,
All right. So
So
that costs
Hold on.
4 shins, and then Will on a 37 from Myth, your oddity. It's a set of garish clothing that somehow never gets dirty or shows any sign of wear. And that'll be 10 shins.
I don't think Seta would buy it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
Are there any ciphers or anything for sale at all?
There
Or is
could
it
be.
just
They'll be
oddities?
the ciphers will be much more expensive. And there's a
Oh,
chance that he
no.
may not know what they do, that's all.
yeah, I'd also look into that.
Okay. For the cipher business from Alicia and Maximus, give me a D20 and a D100.
My face when I find a giant cylindrical tube with a handprint on it, or like a footprint, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what it's like. I can imagine it'd be amazing, like if he sold that and you just walked over and went, "What does this do?" and you just put your hand in it. It was like, great, now I have a clone of you in such and such months and can't sell it to anyone else.
Right, I got a 19 on my 20 and a 21 on my D100.
Okay. 21. So Beth, for 20 shins, if you can afford it, or potentially bartering, exchanging one of the ciphers that you have, he has a bracelet. This bracelet seems to be just of smooth metal, but you can tell that if you look really closely, it actually has a number of circles sort of scored all around it. And roll a d100, call high or low.
Hi. 50.
Right on the button. I'll give it to you. He knows what this cipher does. When activated, metal spheres fly into the air and project a large shield of solid light that protects the user as if a normal shield. Anyone who attacks the user and misses strikes the shield instead, creating a backlash of energy that deals 4 points of intellect damage to the attacker. So basically, it's a bracelet. When you activate it, like there's a self-animated shield that pops up beside you that functions just like a normal shield. And if anyone hits it, they take 4 intellect damage, and it lasts for an hour. But that'll be 20 shins.
That's really cool, but I don't really need it, so I'm going to leave it. See if I can find one cheaper elsewhere.
Okay.
13 and 22.
Giant going mad over the cat.
Okay. Josh, you find another glove.
I love gloves.
How would I describe how this glove looks? I'll let you describe how this glove looks. Roll a d100, call high or low to see if this guy has any idea what it does.
Low. Fuck yeah.
Okay. This is an orbital launcher. It's a,
This sounds perfect for us.
so it's a synthetic glove of some kind. The effect when activated, one unanchored item within immediate range that weighs no more than 50 pounds is immediately launched upwards at the chosen angle with a steady, sustained velocity that will send the object into the void over the course of several hours. If the cipher is used underground or directed to launch the item towards some sort of barrier, then the cipher doesn't activate, so it actually has to be in open air.
How much is that?
I'll say 20 shins as his sort
Fuck
of
it.
cipher price.
I buy it. 'Cause that's just too good to turn down. And then I turn round to Alicia and I say, that's a pretty bracelet. Give her the bracelet as well, and I buy that as well and give it to
Okay.
Alicia.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, would I be able to barter with him for a disc launcher that does it does arcing damage, I do believe. I can't remember.
Yeah, give me an intellect persuasion task with a base 4.
I'll drop that by 1. And bugger it, I'll drop that by 2 because that's 20 shins.
Cool. Yeah, you can barter. Give me your sales pitch though on your disc launcher, and then he'll swap that. He'll trade that to you for either the orbital launcher or the bracelet.
I imagine I basically say, what you want is this this Earth launcher. This is a elemental weapon. I think it basically fires these small foam discs. I don't know. There was an instruction manual that showed it was safe for kids, but honestly, I've tinkered with it. It does some pretty fucking crazy shit. So, for hypothetically, if you saw someone and you didn't like them, you point this at them, and then there's this little mechanism here, and then you compress this little mechanism. Sorry, Lisa, nearly pulled the mechanism there, pointing at you. But basically, if I pointed it at her and compressed that, she would have a bad day.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, you've sold him.
I'm like, I just bought you a 20 shin bracelet. There's an energy force field.
Yeah,
but
that
you're
was
an
more
answer.
for the pointing a gun disc launcher at her and
Gun is.
Thanks so much for the host, Byron.
cool.
I mean, it's safe for kids. These Earth launchers are not meant to be too dangerous unless you know how to really activate them. So it's all good.
Thank you so much, Myth Kitty, for following.
Nice.
Welcome to the adventure, my feline friend. You're a gentle
Penelope,
cat.
how did you get on there?
She's on your laptop right
No,
now.
what
just-
oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Myth.
Cool.
Kitty.
So yeah, you guys can purchase those wares, whatever you like, and otherwise, Pollard is going to escort you. He's going to walk you over to Veblen's Inn. Again, Veblen's is kind of out of the way, which is why it's far more likely to still have rooms left, given the festival that's coming up. Starting within the next couple hours, the festival should be kicking off.
While we're walking, I'm gonna.
So you guys walk through the crowds. Sorry.
Yeah. While we're walking, I just kind of want to ask so about this curse. She kind of whispers the word.
Yeah, he'll sort of slow his gait a little bit so he's sort of lined up to be able to talk to you more quietly, more subtly. He's going to do an over the shoulder and look at Delamere and be grateful that Delamere is drawing all the attention from the public, so he doesn't have to worry about being too subtle himself. And yeah, he'll explain that about 3 generations ago, again in this sort of oral culture in this town, not tracking in terms of years or calendars, about sort of 3 generations ago, this sort of curse started where anytime anyone tried to write anything down, whether it was drawing, like you said, whether it was with charcoal, whether it was with ink, whether it was with blood, even on any surface, not just paper, on walls, anywhere, any attempt to make any kind of markings would cause whoever was trying to write or draw to sort of uncontrollably just start writing out or drawing confessions. So there's this curse on Ridgeclaw that sort of imposes this kind of confessionary writing on everyone who tries to write. So they just immediately barred it from the city. No one is to write. You won't be able to find any writing utensils, any sort of parchment or wax tablets, nothing at all, because there's nobody who would ever risk writing anything down. Obviously, there were some sort of minor confessions, but there were some substantial and serious ones that caused a lot of concern for people's private lives and things. So no one here writes anything, because when they do, they pour out their deepest, darkest secrets. So it's sort of a collective agreement that no one writes or draws anything, and everything is just done orally.
Nice.
Was this some kind of witch or something that put the curse on the city, or?
He'll sort of take a minute to sort of think about his response and again do a bit of a check to make sure no one's really in earshot before he leans over and says that no one's really come out and discussed it or asked about it, but this curse started happening at the same time as we started doing these festivals and the tributes that come with them.
Tributes?
He's going to look back again, very concerned with Naomi, given that she's injured. He'll sort of do a shoulder check to make sure she's still behind, and say it would it'd be best if you folks didn't go out too much later than after dark tonight, after the festival. The festival is a screen. It's meant to sort of abate us from asking questions and thinking too hard. He's obviously pretty jaded
Thinking
about
too
this
hard
whole-
about what?
At this, I'll say he sort of gets bumped into by somebody. Beth, you can take an XP. This conversation gets cut off, and he almost gets overheard sort of saying some of this stuff. He's not going to be spilling anymore. He gets sort of really sweaty and nervous when someone sort of bumps past him and says, "Oh, Pollard, how's it going?" and starts having a conversation. He almost got sort of caught up spilling the beans that he's not supposed to be spilling. But all you know is that there's the curse about writing, and this festival is meant to sort of mask some kind of tribute that happens, and he's not all that for it.
Thank you, Fatal Baptist, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. We're very close to 1,000 followers, which means that we're going to do something special at 1,000 followers. And of course, you guys get to have a viewer decision, which means you get to decide anything which happens in our game. So it could be.
Would it be
absolutely
a particularly, like, I feel like
gruesome?
1,000 followers, yeah. 1,000
I think
followers
so.
is got to be pretty epic.
It's
like,
going to be a big one. Oh, yeah. So if you haven't already hit that follow button, go ahead and do it now.
Tweet at us.
Get your friends involved. Tell your friends. Get them on here. Click that
Tell
button.
your mum. Tell your cat.
Hide yourself.
But yeah, otherwise,
Get your cat to follow us.
Beth, you can take that XP because he's going to cut off the conversation, or the conversation is going to be cut off. Sorry, as you're making your way through these busy streets, getting set up for the festival tonight. You can start smelling more of these incenses, more of this baking, this cooking, and again, some of these smells, like you can't help but associate with colors or numbers. Some of these smells are triggering weird sort of crossovers in your brain that you haven't really experienced before. There's definitely something in the water, as it were, as far as what's going on with this synesthetic festival. But otherwise, Pollard leads you to Veblen's. Veblen's is just a one-story tavern. You sort of walk in, and it doesn't have the sort of kitchen bar set up as would be typical. It's just sort of a living room. So you've got this sort of sitting room set up with a couple of chairs and sofas and tables. And then you see a hallway leading to the back with doors off to the bedrooms. Sitting in one of the chairs, we'll say knitting, is a woman who sort of smiles and says hello to Pollard and introduces herself as Hannah. Who was it who donated for Hannah again?
Ingy.
Ingy. Ingy, anything particular you want about Hannah? In terms of what she looks like,
I mean,
what she does, any kind of powers? What is Hannah's deal?
Scott Starr. No, this is the mic I've always been using since day one. Since day one, but yeah.
indeed.
What do you want for the 1K view decision? I think he already has an idea.
Oh god, I'm not sure what I want.
I'm just
Barry.
dreading the poll results, to be honest.
It's got to be Barry.
It's gonna be... Oh, Barry, yeah.
It
Good
just
old
has to be
Barry.
Barry.
If Barry don't come back,
No
there
worries.
will be no season 2 of any of our episodes until Barry returns. We're on protest.
She's running and hiding behind me.
All right, no worries. Hannah can be a sort of young, attractive-looking, sort of late 20s woman. She's got glasses to help her see, sort of long brown hair, sort of tied back in a ponytail. She's sort of sitting there doing her knitting. She exchanges, greetings with Pollard, and then Pollard sort of grimly excuses himself, heads back to his store. Again, he was quite shaken by almost, spilling the beans in front of Alicia. But otherwise,
As he's kind of excusing himself, Alicia calls after and she's like, I did say I'd buy you a drink.
he'll give you a wink and say maybe he'll see you about town tonight, but not too late.
Heyo, get it.
To be fair, he's just stood her up.
Beth has a thing for guys with hands all over their tattoos.
Oh yeah, what about hands all over there?
Oh, stop.
Oh,
stop,
God,
stop.
stop it.
All right, so Pollard takes off.
He's
and
talking about his tentacle hands. What were you guys talking about?
Exactly.
Legit, that's what I was talking about.
And Hannah will sort of gesture towards either of the rooms on the left, she'll say, are vacant. It's 5 shins a night, but she apologizes. She doesn't have a kitchen, so you'll have to, head into town to find any food or drink. At this point, you're all feeling quite hungry. If you can check if you're carrying any rations or anything like that, if you don't want to pay for food. But otherwise, it's been a long time since you've eaten. Although Naomi she seems to not be that hungry. She says she's feeling quite fine. She's not even that thirsty. She feels sort of oddly sated, given that she hasn't eaten or had anything to drink in a while.
I say, yes, I am also fasting. It is normal. You get used to it.
I nod and sort of say,
It's
Well,
a fashion place.
I feel like, me personally, I'm a bit peckish, and it was a long journey in, and I'm gonna go adventure, find myself some food. Is anyone joining me?
I could go for some grub. I will come with you.
Fantastic.
I do not need to eat, but I will also follow you. This city is strange.
Where do you get your
Well-
energy from, fasting guy? You?
I lean
Sorry,
in.
I thought that was
lean in.
rhetorical.
No,
I
when
lean
do you
in.
get when do you get it?
I
I mean,
whis-
if you're not eating.
I whispered to you. I'm just like, I have a theory that he photosynthesizes.
Okay, yeah. I'll
I do not fast all of the time. Only on holy days. Such
What's
as
the
today.
holy day?
Today, I honor my ancestors.
I nod. And I'm just like, of course. It's a holy day. See, that's why we're in a hole.
I like
Eh,
this guy.
No, it has nothing to do with our location.
Oh,
Alicia face palms and she's just like, I'll catch up with you guys later. And then
Uh,
disappears into one of the rooms.
They're boys on the town.
yeah. Let's go get wasted.
I'm just like, yeah. I turn around. I'm like, Alicia, I don't think you should be wandering around alone here. You draw all sorts
should
of
be fun.
attention.
And she's just like, I promise I will keep my flames hidden.
Yeah. So I'm more talking about the fact that you are a small, fragile.
Woman,
Ooh.
he doesn't want you to get hurt
I
because
have-
there are a
I
lot
have
of
a-
big bad men around
Max-
here. Is that what you're trying to
Maximus
say?
has a
And she
moment
just
where it's just like,
she clicks
"She's
her
a woman."
fingers and she bursts into flames and she's just like, guys, I could burn the whole place down if I wanted to. I will be fine.
Okay.
Hannah's
And then
Hannah's
clicks
just
the
like,
fingers again and it just disappears.
You
Her
wonder why I
knitting-
don't want to
her
be
She's
knitting
knitting
increases.
so fucking
Yeah.
hard.
It's just like you can just see like the sock or the scarf just like
It's like-
It's just getting bigger. It's become this massive 5-length sock all of a sudden.
she like cuts it. It's a sweater done, and then she starts another one.
yeah. I'll say that Naomi will stay with you, Alicia, given that the ladies will be in the one room and the gentlemen in the other room for propriety's sake.
Yeah, cool. I'm like, right, fine, suit yourself. And I turn around and I'm just like, I feel like this is a good idea. Like, we should go out. We should have a few drinks, and have a party of some sort.
And
then Alicia's just like-
yes.
Don't stay out too late.
It's,
Be home by midnight.
I'm just like, well, we could all be violently and brutally murdered tomorrow. I mean, you gotta enjoy it while it lasts.
Or
Head
yesterday.
home when it gets dark. And then she just kind of turns around and walks off.
I do the
Goes and finds
yeah,
Edward.
sure, and then just shake my head to the lads. But it's like I do this directly in front of you, so you can quite clearly see me going. No, I'm just like, yeah, no, we'll do that, and then I'm like, right, should we head off?
Yes. I head out with the boys.
Yeah, so Alicia, you and Naomi can head into one of the rooms. Think of the decor of this place kind of being like when you stay at your grandmother's place, and it's all doilies and sort of terrible wallpaper and that kind of stuff. It's that type of sort of more of a B&B than an inn, really. So it's a little too like I'm in someone else's bedroom rather than I'm in like a neutral like hotel
Yeah.
tavern type space.
It's like a B&B
But
without
that's
the
generally the mock-up. There's two beds.
breakfast.
In the room. Yeah, it's just a B, really.
It's just a bee, really.
Just a single
It's
B.
just a bed. That's it.
What a bee.
Just a bed.
What a bee. All right, les boys, heading out onto the town. As you step outside, you can start to see that, same amount of commotion as before, but the commotion is now as much sort of folks heading to activities, doing things, carrying food and drinks as much as it is. When you first got here, there was lots of commotion. It was people setting up, it was carrying, that kind of stuff. You see lots of theme park style, like meat drumsticks. Those seem to be a big hit. You see what looks like cotton candy in sort of various shades and colors of the rainbow. Lots of people are walking around with sort of cartoonishly large sort of pipes that they're sort of smoking from as well. And there's a lot of people who have sashes. The sashes all have different colors and patterns. They're made out of tons of different fabrics. So you see one sash that's just like clearly an animal's pelt, like it's like a long-haired animal. There's another sash that's just like links of chainmail. And everyone who's wearing one of these sashes is just kind of rubbing it. So you get the general sense that like just about everyone in this town who's partaking in the festival's on Molly. Like everyone is just loving all of their senses all at once as they wander around town.
Cool. I
So is there
basically
anything in particular you guys have been looking for? Drink, food?
drugs.
I'm just looking for, just looking basically, taking it all in.
I want to find out more about this curse
Yeah, I guess Seto's probably interested in this.
and what
I-
started it and who and how.
Yeah.
they can maybe lift it.
I'm just like, I think that's a terrible idea. We should definitely do it.
I know. I'm also trying to like, I can't write because
And he just holds up his hands, and he's
I
it's really
vomit.
hard for me to grasp any sort of utensil. But I envy those who can, and you usually have scholars write for me. And if they can't write nearby, then what good is this? I mean, I can't rely on my memory all the time. So
I'm like, yeah, no, I know exactly how you feel. Like, yeah.
exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, yeah, I think. What were we talking about?
So let's go find where we can learn more maybe about this curse.
Yes,
Slash-
seems interesting. Perhaps we
slash
could help
turn up.
these people.
I nod and I'm like, yeah, no, we could definitely help these people, or we could make everything much worse. I'm well up for it.
Very good. Beth, do you need to take a break? Anyone want to take a break on the halfway point?
Yeah.
I'm
I need
Okay,
to
just
get
take a
grab
short break.
food of some kind because I'm really hungry.
sure.
I
yeah.
should be back momentarily.
I just
And I need more
I just-
tea because my tea is empty.
These guys can take a couple minutes break whilst we talk to you guys and remind you. And I actually have an announcement to make. Thank you for reminding me, people. Not that you did.
Well, you have an announcement to make.
Yeah, no, I was people in chat to remind me earlier. So, what the fuck are you doing, Sue?
Sue, what?
I don't know if I can. We'd have to yeah.
Oh, it's turned around. Weird.
So confused.
That was very odd. Oh yes, we have an announcement to make on Wednesday. The guys from Skirmish, virtual tabletop, a Kickstarter campaign coming to you guys in just a month. They're going to finish. We're going to be interviewing them on here. We're also going to have them. We're going to have a walkthrough of what it is and like a demonstration of the virtual tabletop. So basically, think Roll20, but kind of cooler. It's got loads of awesome features that they're trying to work on. They're just trying to raise some money, and we're going to interview them and run through some stuff on Wednesday. So instead of Out of the Abyss, we're going to be doing that on Wednesday. So that's
Get
Yeah, I'm super
excited.
jelly.
Yeah. Oh, we were just looking to see like, is there anything in particular you guys? Because I mean, we've got questions that we're going to be asking them ourselves and like things because we want to interview them, find out how the game design went or the system design went. Features that they're going to include. But is there anything in particular that you guys want to know? Anything you want to get their insight into or anything of the sort? Post it in chat and we'll look at including some of those questions to them, posting some of them. Also,
there'll be a live Q&A as well, so you guys.
yeah,
can
yeah.
ask
So definitely come in on Wednesday and have a look. And I guess we'll be doing some pretty cool stuff with it.
Oh, Mitch,
So,
turn back on your webcam, mate.
should be a lot of fun.
Unless he's gone, he may have
Unless
gone.
I think he may have.
Oh, maybe he's gone. Yeah,
maybe had
makes
done it
sense.
to do something.
Mm.
Oh, there he is.
I am.
Good.
You
good.
will be hopefully. Oh wait, is that me? Did I screw up? Yeah, I screwed up everybody's chat. Yeah, you're good.
Can't trust Cord
Can't
to
trust
do
me.
anything.
I know.
Like,
Me at the helm. Everything is just awful.
On with the
Oh,
dog.
it's
Just a rough day here at the old. There we go. Good.
So yeah, and thank you everyone who's followed already today. How many? I think like 11 followers off of 1,000, which is pretty hype.
Nice. Yeah. I really
that's
want to
exciting.
really want to do a viewer decision, guys. So tweet it out.
Oh.
Tell your friends. It's always so much fun, especially for you guys to get involved. And
I'm also
especially in
worried
Numenera,
about-
It's always good to watch. Mitch
I'm worried about
struggle.
Scarred Stars donation and how
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
coming
exactly.
into play.
That's gonna happen.
I did.
or if
what
it
did I
already
miss?
has, I don't know.
It has already happened. I'm actually chatting with him right now in chat, and we're trying to keep it subtle. We're trying to get it to happen again more apparently, but
Oh my god.
Ah.
What's happened?
Oh, Scarred Star donated, and every time he messaged Delinear, And he said, every time something happens, something happens. And we don't know what it is. So.
Is it every time every time someone goes looking for the curse, they die? Is that
That could be it. They become
No,
cursed
he
themselves.
he just whispered to me in chat, "Hang on, I'll help." So I don't know if he's punching through another donation to actually have this happen right now, but
Oh, jeez.
Oh lord.
it's never boring.
Yep.
on stream.
Yes, he is. Seto trips and falls and bangs his forehead.
every time?
Every
Like,
single time.
Thank you so much for the donation, the 1.1. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
did that literally just happen? You
Yeah,
know?
literally just happened.
Yep.
So every time somebody donates, they can do, depending on what their donation is, they can add something to the game in real life, in real time. Not in real life, in real time. Scroll down to the donate section, see how you guys can play along in real time with Scarred Star.
I mean, you can add stuff in real life. We had an amazing one earlier, which was every time Will strokes his beard,
He gets on that one.
you get a nat 1, or you're at disadvantage for the next skill
Yeah.
check.
Is that it?
Oh man. No. Scud Star put the shit-eating smiley face. Yeah, thanks so much, dude.
Yeah, so just to make sure that this happens properly, Seto, you're going to fall and sort of hit your head, and then you can take an XP for this Delamere, because I'm not supposed to tell you what to do, but I'm incorporating a donation here, so we'll make it work. Take an XP,
Great.
Delamere. You're immediately good. Actually, no, Seto should be taking the XP.
Yeah, nice try.
Seto, you're taking an XP because Delamere is immediately going to try and make sure and heal your forehead, make sure your head's okay. So basically, Delamere just touch his face. Seto, if you want to let him try and heal you, then Delamere, you can actually activate your heal. But if Seto wants him to not touch, he does still manage a couple slaps before you
couple
sort of brush him
slimy
off.
Just the tip.
Basically, Scarred Star needs Delamere to touch Seto's face.
Yep, this is good.
This is-
So you guys can choose how that's going to work.
touch my face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's probably
I
gonna try, and then he's probably gonna trip and actually fall on top of him.
But
first.
yeah, I was gonna say almost like a punch, but an open palmed
Yeah,
punch.
yeah.
Of
Open,
wriggling.
10 tentacle.
Have
yeah.
you guys ever played the Old World Blues extension of New Vegas?
yes.
This just reminds me of one
believe
of the doctors who just says are those penises wriggling on the end of his hands? And I'm just that's how I imagine. That's how I imagine you
So
look.
yeah, you land on me and fall onto my face.
I'm a very handsy lover.
Oh. What happens? Does anything particular happen?
Yeah, to roll a
You are
D5.
infertile.
Oh god. That's why I've been rolling a d5.
I think all of my neighbors hate me.
It's a 5.
Okay,
Ah.
and a D100.
You
47.
You are infertile.
I mean, I've got clones. It's all right.
Okay.
I mean,
All right,
You can just strip him for parts.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll wait till Beth gets back.
put it on mine. All fixed.
What's 17 times 2? I don't know.
30.
17 squared.
Four.
Oh god.
It's more of a
17.
cylinder.
Oh god. It's not just 17 long; it's 17 wide as well.
It's the girth.
We'll wait till Beth.
Oh,
We'll
she
wait till
is.
Beth gets back.
There she is.
We're good.
There we go.
Hello.
Cool.
Hello.
Cool. So, Beth, while you were gone, Starred Scar donated once more to make sure that the thing that he donated for previously, which he gave £10 for to the stream, thank you for your generosity, for a great idea, which we're now going to reveal now that it's happened again. It's already happened once, but nobody was tracking. Delamere, there is now another element to your character, and that is that
Yes.
unbeknownst to you, whenever you touch someone, which is often given your healing with your tentacles,
Yep.
whenever you touch someone, they randomly generate a mutation of their own.
Oh my god, this is great.
So,
Oh yeah, because that happened to what's her face. She
She doesn't need to
she
eat or
doesn't
drink
need to eat.
anymore.
doesn't need to eat. Oh my God, this is-
I did pick that up.
Oh my god. His character's
so
Gareth.
Will, you rolled a D5, which
did.
thankfully put you on the cosmetic mutations table. You could have been on the beneficial, like Naomi. You could have been on the distinctive or harmful. You're very lucky. This is a very subtle mutation. What I will say to restrict it so things don't get crazy is that
Like
it only
powerful
happens
ones.
once. It only happens
Okay.
once. Well, no, it can be powerful, but we'll say you can now subsequently touch Seto Delamere all you like, and he won't spawn another mutation. It just sort of like draws out this mutation.
That's
Cool.
So Seto, on the cosmetic mutation table, you rolled 47. As you stand up from having sort of
good.
tumbled over and had Delamere fall over you, Delamere, you notice that Seto's eyes are entirely red. Like not just the iris, all of his eyes are red now.
All of them. Oh my gosh.
Even my third one.
I was gonna say,
Oh my god, I didn't think I hit you that hard. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
We got some
Because I can't
feedback on
see.
someone's
yeah, yeah.
mic.
I,
Yeah, Seto, you don't experience anything differently. You don't see red or anything like that. But
yeah. I
I
kind
mean,
of throw you off.
Seto
of me.
kind of always sees red, but
yeah, I mean, this
He's
is so
such a
appropriate.
communist.
Random tables
He's
could not
swang.
be better.
No, yeah. I just stand up, brush you off me.
I'm just like, so, well, that's, I mean, are you already drunk? Did you smoke something that one of the people gave you? One of the pipes? Is that, I mean, I'm not going to judge you, Seto.
I'm not
No,
judging either.
you guys, it's not just the whites of his eyes. Like his eyes
Yeah.
are now just a solid color of red.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like-
that's
Yeah.
what I mean. So I'm just like, wow, like,
Yeah.
he's quite clearly had something.
Absolutely blast.
Oh my.
like you can't even see an iris or a pupil. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
solid.
just-
Yeah,
red
no,
lens.
it's just like a block red.
Wow.
Yeah.
What red
Yeah.
are we talking
Man,
about?
I look
Talking
awesome
like,
now. I look fucking
Yeah.
badass.
Especially if you're covered in blood with your sword. Yeah.
yeah. I think they're gonna be fucking scared.
I think you can see me, right? You can see me fine.
Yes.
Oh boy, because
It's like,
you're
How many fingers am I
yeah,
holding?
how many fingers do you see?
He goes,
So your eyes are red, like really red. You sure you're fine? Because maybe I popped a blood vessel in your eye. Here, let me try to let me try to see what's going on.
and he goes to like tickle your face again with sloppy, wet tentacles.
Yeah. I just stand and let you do this.
There you are. Isn't that much better? There you go. Just a little. There you go.
And
Interesting.
he attempts to heal you.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
he
you
can
need any
heal.
healing, but
There,
you
no,
go.
he wouldn't have hit his head hard enough to actually take damage.
but I still got
but
to
the
spend
healing,
it, so
the healing does not take away the mutation.
yeah. Okay.
I like go look at a window to see my reflection. I'm like,
I like the idea. You're like, damn, I clash.
I'm going to
If
need
only-
to change
if-
this outfit.
if only I had if only I bought like a garish set of clothes. That's-
Should have bought that outfit earlier.
That's true.
Should have got it. I look at it and say, it would seem my ancestors have blessed me with a change to my vision. Perhaps now I will see more.
I'm just
I love the like
probably
upward glances.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seto thinks like, he's had some kind of spiritual change, and he's reached
Sure.
maybe not enlightenment, but like a different level of understanding.
Click
He's like,
monkey says
"Ah,
the
I am
eyes of
now-
a warrior. Yeah.
I have the eye of the tiger,
my
the thrill
face
of the
was-
fight.
it's just, he's just like, so I'm
Rising
obviously
up.
super
Back
super
on the
Saiyan
street.
now. Oh, we just all sing that as we walk through town.
Did my time. Took my chances.
I never thought I'd hear Gilbert Godfrey sing that.
Yep, you're welcome.
Oh, you know what? You know in BioShock, where there's oh god, is it BioShock Infinite? Where
Sure.
I can't remember the name of the girl in it.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. I love it when Elizabeth like creates rips in time, and she's just, and then you hear like music playing. Like I imagine like at some point like I accidentally open a rip and there's just "Eye of the Tiger is the," and maybe a boxing match going on in the background. And we're all like,
Yep.
the fuck?
What was that in there? Slapping each other with fists?
I don't know.
All right, so let's take a look and try to find what's going on with this purse.
Yeah, so there's lots of places to go. Like I said, you can try and find where people are getting these big drumsticks. You could find one of these sort of like disposable pipes that everyone seems to really enjoy smoking. You can try and get one of these sashes that are just meant for touching. You also notice a bunch of games, like typical carnivalesque games, but now they all have like a twist of like trying to force you to use a different sense. So most of them are like blindfolded. So there's like, throw the ball to knock down the cups. There's like shoot the little air gun to sort of knock over little cardboard things, but you're doing all this blindfolded. So you're supposed to either like smell or hear or like, tell when things are moving, whack-a-mole, that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of games. And then there's a tent. There's a tent that a guy's set up. Guy sort of a big top hat with a long mustache that he keeps like stroking with both hands.
What can I use as a reference for?
He set up this tent that he claims that he's got alien life, proof of alien life behind this tent. And anyone who pays a shin can go inside and see proof that there are in fact aliens out there. Again, keeping in mind that this is sort of roughly the Middle Ages for this ninth world iteration of human civilization. So definitely haven't encountered them in any like real capacity.
I mean, but you didn't just deny that you didn't just say they're not real. So technically he could be, that's what Delinear wants us to believe. Like really, I believe, that's how Maximus is thinking. He's just like, this is what Delinear wants me to think. I'm going to go see aliens. It's like legit. So Maximus is going to go see some aliens. What do I?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you pay your shin, and he'll sort of like let you into his tent. That kind of is like it's kind of like a guided corridor, and there's sort of three sort of backlit tubes. It's almost like they're 12-foot glass tubes. They just don't have a handprint on them. But there are these.
Damn it!
These glass tubes. There are three of them in a row, and you can make an intelligence check to see if you know what they are, think you know what they are. Maybe it's an impossible check. Maybe they are aliens.
What? Oh, is it? You're not telling me what
the
the
DC.
difficulty is?
Actually, I'll say for the DC is the same for all three of them. We'll say it's base DC of 5.
I need to check all of them individually, like 3 different checks.
No, if you succeed on this, you can just know all 3. That's fine.
Cool. In which case, I'm going to lower it. Cause yeah.
Is anyone else going with Maximus into the alien life tent?
Not in the alien life tent, probably not. Yes, actually no. Delamere would.
Delamere's like, oh no, that's disgusting.
Gross. Why would I do that?
I
No,
follow
he's
the boys.
probably he's probably gonna go in. Thinking back.
I've
on it.
lowered it by
After he
2.
gets cotton candy though.
Boom. Yes.
Okay, everybody else make the DC 5 intelligence checks.
May I have cotton candy? Hugh L0F6664, please.
The fuck.
He's asking for the color, right? If
Hey,
alcohol you
success.
can request in numbers, why can't you request cotton candy in numbers?
Okay.
All right, I got a 1.
That one.
Okay, Myth, you see aliens. Delamere straight up sees aliens. He cannot be convinced otherwise. He sees 3 different aliens. One of them seems to be kind of quadrupedal, almost like a hoofed type creature, but it has like extra weird shapes on it. The next one seems to have like no bone or skeletal structure at all. It's just kind of this blob with these tentacles sort of coming out of it, and it has like roughly kind of like a head shape.
This one is my mother.
And the third one looks like it's normally just sort of a serpentine type creature, but it does have 2 limbs coming out of it.
My.
But you're convinced that all three of them are aliens. But Will, Seto, and Maximus definitely know that the first one's a sort of
A
deformed cow fetus. Yeah. The second one is some type of squid, and then the third one is probably like the closest or the weirdest one. It's definitely a snake. Or was a snake. And if you look really closely, you can see, I'll say Will because you got higher, you're the one who notices how this is. But Will, you can see that like they've stitched like limbs onto this snake, but it's just a snake that they like took the legs off of another animal and like sewed them on as best they could to make it look, But but they're definitely not aliens. But Delamere will not be convinced otherwise. He's now convinced. I don't know if that changes your perspective, Delamere, on life,
Maximus,
universe, the galaxy, but those are aliens.
These are fascinating. Look at the wow. Look at the arms on this one.
And it's just like obviously staring right at the seam.
And he's like, look how this flows seamlessly between shoulder and whatever the vertebra right here. Look at that. Wow, that is amazing.
Is there a like a man in here like conducting it all, who's like who owns these or?
No, there was just the guy on the outside with the mustache who, put a shin in his little bucket and he told you to head inside. It's only probably like a 15-foot corridor, and then the other end, you're out the other side of the
So
tent.
I pop my head back out the tent while like red eyes just come over and I take this man and I say, what can you tell me of this curse? And his eyes
Roll me an intellect-based task. You're going to have an asset on this because you're red eyes. The difficulty is only going to be a 2. So with the asset, that brings it down to a 1.
see if I can still fail this. Let's give it a go, boys. 9. There we go.
Okay, this guy jumps back at the sight of your eyes. I guess you didn't really notice him initially when you entered the tent, but you sort of pop your head out. He kind of turns and does and kind of pops backwards. And then sort of looks left and right, makes sure again, as everyone seems to be doing, that no one's really around. And then he'll sort of shoo you back into the tent and then poke his head into the tent and say, well, what do you want to know?
Boys. I call the boys. What do we want to know about this curse?
I turn to him and I just sort of say, like, does it have anything to do with the so-called aliens that, well, and he like really exaggerates the quotation marks where he's like, the aliens you have in there.
No, not in particular. He's dodging the alien question as best he can.
Is there any way to lift this curse?
Well, it originates from deep within the caves, you see. There was I'm sure you've heard of the tributes.
No.
The tributes, the cave spirits, they come and take the chosen ones down, so they say.
Who are
Yes,
these chosen ones?
Oh, well, they're chosen at random, it seems. Usually women, young.
Like, they're chosen at random, particularly women. Young,
Random,
named
young.
Hannah.
Completely random though.
Yeah. Short brown hair.
All
Yeah,
of them are named Hannah. It's beautiful.
I
yeah.
say, where are these caves?
Oh, well, they're quite a ways down. You could take a winding path at the lowest part of the city, or you could rappel, if you've got the courage in you. You could rappel down as a more standard entrance, I suppose, to the cave networks for the below.
I mean, we could just repel that. That sounds like a lot more fun.
Yes, let us go. Seto's like, yep.
He'll, like,
I'm not a fan of
pull the
rappel.
curtain around his mustache. So that it doesn't-
Take it then.
I get it. It makes sense.
Hey, Camille. Seto turns to the guys and says, I think we should go find these caves. Perhaps we should bring the girl with us too.
Yeah,
She
that
said
sounds like
something
a
Just
good
like,
idea.
I'm just like, Naomi isn't really particularly like a fighting kind of girl. I think that'd be a terrible idea.
I mean the other one, the one that talks too much.
The one that talks too much. Which one's that? I'm the one that talks too much. Who's stolen my place?
I forget her name.
Oh,
You mean the fiery one?
Yes.
the fire one.
The one
Yeah.
who
we all have
explodes?
we all have a moment. We all look at each other and we're like, does anybody know her name?
I think it's no.
I'm just like, Elsa.
Yeah, it's Elsa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Alicia.
Something about wanting to build a snowman last time I saw her.
Oh, that fucking. Oh yeah, I know.
I think it's Alicia. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
A loser. I don't know what it is.
Loser. That's it.
A lizard. I think it's a lizard.
Shall
I'm
we
just like,
take her too, or not?
Yeah, let's, yeah, she's got great, I mean, she burns things. She loves burning things. So if there's any danger, she can burn them. Right?
Yes,
That makes sense.
I like this plan.
Josh, because your character is a mad character, you can take an XP, and I'm allowed to intrude and actually like tell you something to
that's
do.
fine. Yeah, cool.
And I'm just again trying to get the mileage out of these 10 pounds.
Yeah, no, that's
As you
fine.
guys are having your little powwow, but like, okay, we're gonna repel, there's something about these cave spirits that come and take, young women down into the depths of the cave. We gotta go figure this out. We're gonna repel. Josh, you're gonna pull the boys in for a huddle. So you're gonna grab the shoulder of both.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's not even like I'm just like I put my hand in the middle and I'm just like I saw this in a vision. We put our hands on top and then we all yell something and flail our hands in the
Something
air.
about the Dylan Panthers. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm just like right. And I grab hold of Gross Man's hand.
It's,
I'm like.
Delamere. Yeah, okay.
Give me a D5.
Give you a D5 plus what?
A D100.
D5 plus.
No, Irving, I don't think Jackley has interfered as of yet.
Not yet, no.
Seto's been busy.
And
Yeah.
you've got those 3 jumps cord that you can pop
Yeah.
in.
Roll D5 plus D100. 389. Am I about to die?
Yes.
I think
Get-
it's still
tell me what-
beneficial. Or not.
What thingy am I on?
You are in distinctive. But
Agony.
this seems. Hold on. Oh, okay, I was reading it on the. Okay, so it's like the one list ended and distinctive was way up here. So I was like, that seems like really powerful. That doesn't seem distinctive at all. It was on the wrong list. Oh my God, Josh, I'm really sorry.
That's cool. No, I like it. I love it already.
I'm not.
your eyes are on stalks. You can describe how that happens. You can choose how long they are. You can do whatever
You
you
just
want.
start to
with
and then just lift out. Oh my, gross. That's disgusting.
I'm like, I imagine I'm like
Mid huddle, like we're talking.
We put our hands in. We put our hand in the middle, right?
Ready,
You're
break.
Like, want to use the left. Want to use
You
the
do the
left.
cut. You do the
sort of-
cartoon eyes come out of sockets.
And then I turn and I'm just like, well, gross man, and my eye extends towards you, and I'm like, Seto, and my eye just extends in your face, and I'm just like, let's do this. And then as you're about to try and tell me, I just throw our hands in the air, and I'm just like,
Like you just
yes. Yeah, I do.
You're staring at me and your eyes just get bigger in my perspective. I'm like, what's going on? What? And then you turn and look and it just whoop. And they just see the perspective of these disgusting eye stalks. I don't even expect them on the end of stalks. I just expect a crab's eye would be, just this long tendril with a pupil at the end of it.
I imagine you're trying to look at something closer, and your eye just comes out to go look at it closer.
I imagine you're I imagine you guys are like, what's wrong with your eyes? And I'm like, I don't know. And I turn my eyes around so I'm looking at them, and I'm like, that looks fine to me.
Nothing wrong here.
I'll say for Kate's sake, Josh, you can extend them and draw them back in. So you can pull them back to being normal eyes, but when they're
But they
retracted,
probably
all the-
never actually originally go back to their spot.
Yeah,
Probably
when they're retracted.
Whenever I'm surprised, they just shoot out.
It's like the
And,
eyeballs
when
just
they're-
rest on the sockets. They don't actually
Exactly.
ever.
Yeah, when when they're retracted all the way, they still look like they're like totally bulged outside of the eyelids. So they're like eyeballs on the outside of your eyelids. But then, yeah, you can extend them.
Oh, gross.
It's
I'll say
alright,
max
I
up.
have,
Time to Google.
I'm just like, well, that's interesting. And I put my goggles on and like sort of make it a little less obvious. And I'm just like, well, that's an interesting one. Why do our eyes keep fucking doing weird stuff?
I have no idea.
It's
Yeah,
like
actually, the
whenever
further-
we touch this man, odd things happen to us.
I touch him again.
What?
I touch myself.
Nope. Yeah.
I touch myself.
When I think about me, I touch myself.
I'm just like, well, I'm touching him now. Nothing weird is happening.
I'm gonna put it out to chat. I'll give 1,000 of my gold in chat to the first person who does a really poor job photoshopping an image of Josh from one of the streams with eye stalks.
Yeah.
I'll
there you go.
take
That's a
1,000
thousand.
gold.
1,000
I'll
game
throw, I'll
gold.
throw it 1,000 too.
Yeah, I'll throw in 1,000 too. Like this is
3,000 gold.
3,000.
3,000 gold is up.
I'm not.
Remember, it needs to be terrible Photoshop.
Yeah, I only
has
do
to be
good.
the worst.
I'm trying to find like a gross, scary
like, did you-
picture of.
Did you guys
eye
ever
stalk
find?
people.
Did you ever see that Reddit? It's like the guy standing beside
Probably.
the. Was it standing beside the Eiffel Tower, and he was just standing like this, and he put it on Reddit and just said, "Can Reddit? Can you help me? Can someone Photoshop this so that
Yeah.
it looks like I'm touching
like,
the top of the tower?" And people went crazy. There were so many good ones. There was one where they like photoshopped like this scene in Space Jam where Michael Jordan stretches his arm, so like
Oh,
all the like Monstars were like grabbing his legs.
MS
and,
Paint
like, his
works as well, P-Farts.
Yeah, people,
It's probably better if you use MS Paint.
How's it going, Unmade Man? The Unmade Men are here. The nerds are here.
Nice.
Look
Thank
out.
God.
Cool. So where we left it off in the game, you guys were in a huddle deciding what to do about potentially investigating the cavern network that is lower in this
Caverns.
giant crater
Yeah.
to potentially deal with these cave spirits that come and take young women during the Synesthesia Festival where everybody conveniently doped up.
Yeah, I start heading back to
Yeah.
where Alicia is.
Samesies.
yeah.
I forgot the name of the town.
Alicia isn't at the tavern.
Cool.
That's helpful. Brilliant.
She's in
We
the
head to
caves.
the. We head to the. She's been taken. So
I
don't know who you
That'd be a
are.
automatically
great
assumed
plot
it's
twist.
some-
take an XP. You've been
I have
taken.
a certain set of skills.
Once you guys left, Alicia decided to go wandering and see if she can find what's his name, Poldark.
Poldark.
The
Yeah.
shop-
Poldark.
I'm Mordock.
Pollard.
Hello.
Sure.
I found
So
you.
we'll go. We'll,
The shovel
cut to,
merchant. Did you just call him the shovel merchant?
Oh.
Is that
Alicia looking
dark?
for the shovel merchant.
My name is Poldark.
You sound like somebody we've known before. What's your name? Poldark.
Poldark.
Oh, okay, good. I thought we you were something completely different.
I was worried for a second. That's fine.
Beth, I'll give you two options. You can either spend an XP to automatically find Pollard, or you'll have to roll a D100 and call high-low, because it is a big city. Because again, players can spend XP to sort of tweak the narrative in a way that they want.
How much XP do I have? I have XP. Let's go find him.
Cool. So you can choose where you find him. He won't be in that bad of a state of inebriation. He'll have had a couple drinks, but beyond that, nothing much.
I walk out and I turn the first corner I find, and there's a nice little bar down there. And I go in
Sure.
and I buy a drink, and he just happens to be sitting at the bar as well.
Cool. So there are lots of folks in the bar doing strange things with their drinks. They'll stick their fingers in them and then put them on the table, and then kind of watch / listen / like smell what happens. Everyone seems to be, like I said, on quite a lot of sensory enhancers in some capacity. The bartender is a squat, bearded man who's bald, sort of a fiery red beard that's really wiry, kind of goes out in all directions. He'll be perpetually drying a mug, and he'll ask whether you'd like a standard or a special for the evening. So do you want one of the sort of the festival drinks or just a normal drink?
I'm fairly new to town. I think I'll just go for one of the normal ones.
Cool. So same deal like in the other cities. Name your number of alcohol and then whatever synthetic flavor you'd like.
I'm going to avoid the sesame snap flavor this time after the
Okay.
reaction that I had.
You're allergic, remember?
Exactly. I'm going to go for 25 white chocolate.
Okay.
Classic woman's, classic girls drink at a night out. The 25 white chocolate.
I'm not gonna get hungover. Can I have the white Russian things?
I'm not gonna get like drunk. I'm just gonna have like a 25 white chocolate.
That's how they get
Right.
white girl wasted.
25 white.
Cool. So the wiry-haired bartender, wiry-bearded bald bartender will make up your 25 white chocolate. Pollard seems to be sort of focusing on his drink. He doesn't actually realize you've walked up to him. So his drink, again, you can't really tell whether it's one of the specials or one of the standard.
But yeah, I say to the bartender, and I just get to look at Polar, and I'm just like, whatever he's drinking as well.
Pollard sort of look over and do a bit of a hiccup as he recognizes who you are and say, held up to your bets then, did you?
Told you, I owe you a drink. And you owe me an explanation.
He's
Much
drinking
appreciated.
He's drinking a 97 beef Wellington because he's a bloke.
He made the mistake, like he didn't realize how it worked here, so he was like, I'll have a 92 bitter, and then it's like, oh,
Ugh.
just tastes like.
Yeah, so the bartender keeps sort of making your drinks, and Pollard will sort of, again, do his shoulder check, seeing that everyone in the bar is thoroughly mesmerized by whichever sense is being stimulated by their particular beverages. He'll sort of hop a stool over so that he's right next to you, Alicia, and say, well, sorry, you can appreciate why we need to be subtle about this issue.
Well, we could go somewhere slightly more private if you like.
He'll chuckle and look over his shoulder and give a gesture and say, I don't expect those folks to be remembering too much after tonight, if you know what I mean.
Not got a clue. She literally has no idea what he means at all.
Right when you say that, the bartender will come over and say, 25 white chocolate, and then everything will make sense to Pollard that you wouldn't, understand the blackout phase of drunk if you drink 25 white chocolates.
Yeah.
He's
So
just,
it's all-
he's just like, get on my level, seriously.
She recognizes this look of, oh my god, why are you drinking that? And she's just like, look, I'm only little, give me a break.
No, again, he's very polite. He's a courteous man. He doesn't say anything outright, but he sort of nods internally that he understands.
That you're a
And
bitch.
no, boys.
Boys plus.
He'll give you a similar description in a little bit more detail that the mustached man gave to the blokes in the alien tent. He'll say that these festivals are meant to sort of mask and cover up what was sort of determined to be a cyclical return of what people call cave spirits. These cave spirits, again, snatch up young women, some young boys as well too. Nobody usually over the age of 30, so it's mostly just youngsters. There seems to be more sort of public outcry about like the women missing, which seems to slant people into thinking that only women go missing, but he explains that that's not the case, it's just young people. He says that his brother claims to have seen one of these cave spirits before, and all he remembered in the sort of flurry of having been on Molly, as far as anyone else was concerned, all he remembers from the flurry was a sort of shrieking, screeching noise and leathery wings. That's all he recalls from having nearly encountered one of these cave spirits that whisks people away on the nights of the festival.
Alicia kind of she listens to this and she's just like, have you guys ever thought of not having a festival and actually doing something about it?
And he's going to say that most of the people in this town are sort of travelers, they're passerbys. The only sort of permanent residents are business people, and the locals sort of know better They sort of keep inside. The last couple of years, the only people who've gone missing have been visitors, those coming for the festival. So the locals seem to know to stay indoors, so it's less of an issue. There have been groups that have gone down into the cave networks. They never came back, though. So there have been sort of intermittent groups of adventurers or particularly daring or brave folks who've tried to investigate.
Idiots.
But yeah, they just don't come back.
And when was the last time anyone actually wrote something down?
We have someone's
Uh,
speaker is
Yeah,
Phil-
someone's
back
very
some
echoey.
sound.
Yeah, I hear this as well.
I don't know. It's Josh.
I do. No,
Oh,
I
you do
hear
as
it.
well.
as well.
Oh, it's not there.
Yeah.
No, it's
You
me.
hear it as
It's
well?
me.
Sounds better now.
There we go.
Better now. Could just be because I wasn't talking for long, Mike. But
Yeah, probably. Picked
yeah,
up.
he'll say the same thing that he sort of explained while you were walking in the street before he got bumped into. It was 3 generations ago that they started doing these festivals. He doesn't necessarily know if the disappearances were happening before that. Yeah, he doesn't really know. You kind of get the sense that like this town throws the big festival to draw a bunch of foreigners in and then let them be drunk in the streets, and then everyone from the town sort of hides because they know there's this thing that happens that they can't do anything about, and it's better foreigners who are drunk and high than locals getting snatched up. So
That's
I mean,
getting
makes
some-
sense.
So you've never written anything down to see if the rumors are true and if the myths are true.
he says he hasn't personally, but every once in a while someone from out of town will, just to test it. And generally they get sort of chased out of town with pitchforks for having done so.
Chased out of town with pitchforks before anything happens or
Pitchforks.
after it happens? Pitchforks.
No, after. So, there have been travelers who've come in and written things down. To just, oh, no, I don't believe this. And then they realize that they've just written down like the most embarrassing or shameful or, hidden secret that they had. And then everyone in town is up in arms about it. So he seems to have like fairly adequate proof that it is a thing that still affects this hole in the ground.
Thanks, Wonks Hype, for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend.
And
She's just like-
actually, I'm going to roll here. Yeah, so Pollard has never been out of the city. He was born and raised here, so he has no idea if this applies to people when they leave or if it's just in the hole. He doesn't know.
Then maybe we should have another drink, then see what we can find in the cave.
He's going to get sort of kind of uncomfortable when you say that you might be going into the caves. Again, he's sort of the daring heroics type. He says you wouldn't be going alone, I hope. Those
Well, I'd
friends-
like to think a nice, strong man like you would come with me to protect me.
He's going to throw back his 97, what did you say it was? Well, 97.
Beef Wellington.
97
Beef
bitter.
Wellington. Throw back his 97 beef Wellington and say, if it's something you're insistent on doing, I'll see what I can scrounge up from my shop and meet you at Veblin's.
Just brings all his shovels.
Shovel Knight. Yeah.
Would you care for another drink?
You can tell he's doing that kind of fearful stare where he's just kind of like looking ahead, like running through images in his mind. This haunted cave network that no one comes back from.
I'd get
He's
him
gonna
another
build
drink.
himself up. Yeah, he'll throw back another 97 beef Wellington.
Such courage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I said, well, I guess I'll meet you at the tavern in half an hour.
He'll sort of give you a nod and say, I'll see what I can scrounge up.
And she stands up and wanders back to the tavern. In the thing.
We conveniently meet at the same time.
I will say exactly. You guys are meeting at the tavern at the same time. And I need everybody to roll a perception check. DC on this starts at a 6.
Cool. This isn't going to be a good one for setup. Yeah, oh, not 20, boys.
Oh,
I
boys.
got a
DC what?
2. I can't even
6.
see my eyelids.
I have not succeeded.
Man, these
at all
new
in
red
it
eyes
today.
are working a treat for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they illuminate the area. Do I get a bonus for having stalk eyes?
No. Heads up, I'm not going to give you bonuses on stock eyes. The only thing you'll be able to do is like look around corners, maybe. I'll say you're still getting used to the eye muscles, so you don't really know how to focus. Yeah.
Yeah. On a nat one, like one eye is focused out on like a different depth than the other eye, and I'm like, whoa.
Depth perception is fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to describe to Seto what Seto hears. And while Seto hears this, Beth, how do you respond to Seto's eyes and Maximus's eye stalks?
Yeah, maybe both of
I'm
them.
just like,
We come back from the festival.
what the actual fuck
so
have you guys
high.
been drinking? What have I been drinking? I mean,
Like of
I
all
have
the different
drunk that
Alicia,
types,
you need to just chill.
all the different types of mutations, you guys both got eye mutations.
Eye is
So yeah,
fuck.
you're not that alarmed with the stalks.
I think she's more thinking along the lines of someone spiked her drink.
Okay.
she's just like, if I don't mention it, like they haven't said anything, so quite clearly I'm the only one who
Just go away.
She's like, I'm so drunk. I'm so high.
Give you a 52 white chocolate instead of a 25 white chocolate.
Yeah. Oh,
It's quite possible.
that
I mean, it tasted a bit stronger than usual.
Seto is going to hear very, very faintly what sounds kind of like chatter, but between like high-pitched screeching noises coming from sort of lower, deep down. And you're also going to hear, just for a split second before it goes away, what sounds like the flutter of wings.
Whereabouts? Like in the rafters, or?
Yeah, so this is coming from
Yeah.
like deep down in the hole. So if you were to like, it would sort of be behind you if you're facing the entrance of this inn, or the B and B, or the single B. So it's
The
sort of
B.
behind you. You've got maybe 30, 40 feet till you hit sort of the railing, and then it's just like the big crater.
I say, did you guys hear that? Wings.
Hear what? Eyes?
I-
What?
I-
What?
I heard wings.
She heard eyes.
Like
I
the
think she's. I think
He
she
said
might
what?
Be drunk.
Who said something about eyes? I didn't say anything about eyes. I mean,
I'm
eyes?
looking at Seto, but one of my eyes rotates to look at you, and I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about? But like, it's not clear who I'm talking to. I'm just like,
Yeah, I say, I heard the flutter of wings.
I
Beth, does
rolled
that
an
spark anything for you?
yeah, she'll be like, that'll be the cave things.
What?
Good. Good, then they are close. We can find them.
Shopkeeper
Slowly.
dude's meeting us here in a minute.
Who is this shopkeeper dude?
The guy from the shop that sold us stuff, he gave me the pretty bracelet.
Ah.
And kind of, she's kind of
Shovel Man.
completely ignoring the
Shovel Man.
fact.
Shovel Man is
She's
coming.
completely ignoring the fact that it was Max that got it for her. She's like, he gave me a pretty bracelet.
I'd forgotten that I bought it for you, and I'm just like, yes, the one who gave you a pretty bracelet. I think he likes you.
But yeah, he's meeting us here. He's going to the shop. He's getting supplies, and then we're gonna go into the caves. Do you want to? Do you guys want to come too?
Is this man a warrior?
He's brave and heroic, and he has big muscles and tattoos.
I don't see why this makes a warrior, but we are going, so you can join us.
That means I'm a huge warrior. Check out these muscles.
He starts flexing some of his flab.
Alicia runs inside and gets Billy, and she's like, "Billy can come too, but we have to keep him safe."
Just like, you do realise if there's fluttering things down there, maybe they're related. Maybe
not
this is
going
where Billy
anywhere.
belongs. Maybe this is where Billy belongs.
Maybe
No.
we can ride
Fine.
them.
Billy belongs with me.
Maybe we
Throws
can
him in the
find other
hole.
Billies, edible Billies.
Everybody's got to learn
No,
at some point.
no eating Billy.
I'm not trying to eat Billy. I'm trying to eat Billy's relatives. Is that such a crime?
No.
No, no eating
Alicia,
Billy.
Alicia, when you go inside,
Billy is
Naomi's not there.
Where
Naomi's
is
not
Naomi?
there. I run back outside and I'm just like, I think the fluttery cave things might have taken Naomi. Either that or she's gone.
I'm running. Seto's like fucking action man mode. He's like, he looks.
Someone winds his legs up and
Yeah.
he just fucking goes.
He like Seto's eyes go like all red, you know, because they go like a darker shade of crimson, and then he looks where Naomi was. He hears the flutter of wings. Ah, she has been taken, and then I start running. Like he runs out of the tavern and starts flying
cool.
the lower levels.
I grab Seto real quick and I say,
Touch Billy.
Yeah, where is Billy at this moment?
no one cares.
No, because if Delamere touches him,
Maybe I can make him see.
No, my Billy.
I
No
just
one
wanna
touches
touch it.
Billy.
I'm gonna actually reach out
No,
and do a speed.
no
Nope,
one-
you're doing a speed test. You have no idea that I do this.
Well, and Alicia, like the only time you've seen Cord touch anything, he healed wounds.
Yep.
You don't
And made it
necessarily
better.
know that this eye business came from touching.
Yeah, you. Yeah,
she's
plus
had a drink and she's
you-
suddenly very protective over her little baby. No one's
Literally
touching
no
Billy.
idea. I am doing a speed test.
Okay, so they're opposed speed checks. So you're making your D20 roll,
Yeah.
and then any level of effort you want to apply to it.
will be the
How would PvP work? I guess, yeah, Cord, you're the initiator, so you just roll a D20, and then
Okay.
any effort you want to add would add 3, right? Because it's adding to or would add 1 to whatever the
I have
result
long
C would
tentacle
be.
fingers, so maybe that's an asset.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna add
So just
speed.
yeah.
man, that
This is
was
amazing.
One,
How
two,
many
three.
levels of speed?
I'm just doing one because I can only do one. So that's 2 assets to whatever I'm rolling here.
It's great.
Okay.
8
So it's an 8. So then you'd have plus
plus
6 because it's
Yep.
sort of one
so
level
14.
for each.
So that's like a 4.
4.
12.
So but between yeah. Okay, so Beth, you're gonna be making a speed defense task, and the base DC. Just make a speed defense task, and you can reduce 3 from the number 14, and you'll just be rolling a D20.
Oh, you're
Boom.
drunk.
I'm
Yeah, you've been drinking.
skilled in perception to see this coming.
No, you're already sort of standing.
Is it
aside.
just me, or is anyone noticing a pattern here?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Sorry, no touching Billy.
All right.
Spend an XP, make it happen. I'll spend an XP.
Jack Lee comes in and goes,
Why don't you
Yeah.
give it? Why don't you hand him over?
"No, that's right.
That would be so
There'll be other
funny. Like,
times."
Jack Lee
Hello,
materializes.
Elisa. Why don't you hand him over?
Yeah,
No,
Beth.
if you
Beth, I'll let you decide. Billy is your pet. If Cord wants to insist on touching, he will still have to spend an XP. But it's your call whether or not he's allowed.
It's cool. It's not
Because
like
he's-
he has any reason to touch him right now. I just want to be like,
If
"Oh,
he's,
cool!"
if he's
and then reach
spending
around, but
XP and has a reason to do it, then I'll let him.
I don't have any reason.
But Alicia has had a drink and she's suddenly very protective, hence taking him into the cave for no apparent reason. No one's allowed to go anywhere near him but her.
Got it.
Yeah,
She's
so
gone into
basically
mummy
you-
mode.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Take him into an incredibly dangerous
This
place
makes
Yep.
much more sense.
of
than
flying
touching
creatures.
But
Yeah,
he's
no,
safe
no.
because he's with her, is what her thinking is. He's
The-
safer than
yeah,
he is
the-
on his own.
The
Or
squishy,
with
exploding
Naomi.
woman. Yes.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't explode. I just get.
Yeah. So, cool.
Cord, can you
I-
come up with a reason?
Can I, what?
Can you come up with a reason?
To touch him?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He wanted to reach and be like, "Oh, that's cute," because I don't think he's ever seen Billy. So he went to reach and grab it, and she
Yeah.
pulled away, and he was just like, "No,
Okay.
never mind." Unless
Cool.
Scarred
I,
Star does this. Scarred Star donated 101. Thank you so much for the £1. Billy jumps at Delamere, mistaking his finger for tasty treats. For a tasty sausage.
Sorry, Beth. Sorry.
God damn it, Scar! You've just been paid, haven't you, Starscar?
Yep.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much, Scarred Star, for playing along and letting Delamere touch the shit out of this little creature.
Touch my belly.
Touch my
Beth?
Billy.
Beth, I will say, because you were so reluctant and resistant to this, that instead of rolling a d5, you're going to roll a d4, and I'm not going to include the potential for there to be harmful mutations.
There we
Cool.
go.
Do you want me to roll it?
Is this
So, yeah.
going to be one of the things you roll for something only a mother could love?
I got a 3.
Okay.
And then a D100, right?
D100, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Scarstar. That is awesome.
Fucking
is
mutant
47.
There we go.
Do you know
Okay.
what you were asking about what Alicia thinks of Delamere? Whatever the result of this is might answer your question.
Okay. So it could have been way worse. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
However,
So Billy has a tail.
Already?
Okay, basically, like an alien-style mouth on a stalk is now on the end of Billy's tail. So Billy's tail now has a mouth on it. Yeah.
Great.
He was supposed to gain a limb that had the little mouth on it, but because he already had the tail as the extra limb, we'll just put the mouth on his tail. But Beth, it is important
Could
to
have been
note
in a
that.
worse place, am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? This mouth, or like this like maw that's on the end of Billy's tail, can be used to attack, inflicting 3 points of damage. If you deal damage, then you inject a poison that does 4 points of speed damage as well. So this bite does a total of
hell.
7 damage.
Do I have that?
Awesome.
I think I have that mutation. Hold
This
on.
fucking game, man.
She's still not particularly happy about it though. She snatches Billy back and she's like, "What have you done to my baby?"
What? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
She turns Billy around and puts a tail with snapping mouth
Wow.
to your
Scarred
face.
That is
Scarred Star,
fascinating.
we made the dog better. Billy 2.0.
That is
So
gross.
Seto's like out, though. He isn't seeing this happening.
Seto, as Seto like takes
I
off.
would.
um,
Yeah,
I will-
tried to
will-
grab him.
Yeah, I mean, on a nat 20, he's sort of ahead of the pack. But I will say, Seto, that like you take off, you take like 3 bounds, and then you just hear very faintly over your shoulder, you hear Naomi's voice back towards the tavern, but coming from outdoors. You just hear her voice sort of around a corner that just sort of says, Seto? As you guys are all like, Naomi, she's not here, Naomi's not here, and everyone sort of starts to freak out. She was just sort of outside. Outside
I
of
like, I like pair it on the spot, turn around, run back to her, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, you're here.
Seto, you
That
can
feel
actually,
win.
Seto, you can
That
take an
feel
XP. Sorry, that feel win. Don't want to spoil the joke.
No, I was just gonna say that feel when Bay doesn't text you on a night out and
Yeah.
you're just like, she's been taken, she's dead.
That's exactly what just happened. Seto, take an XP. You hear this sort of just over your shoulder, and right as you're about to sort of stop running, you see this horrendous shape sort of fly up from the pit and sort of fly over your head, sort of directly overhead, and we will roll initiative. Essentially, these things look like the really creepy animatronic bat from like the original Batman movies, like the giant bat that
I
you
kind
encounter.
of imagine them to be like Krillatanes from Doctor Who.
Nope.
Yeah.
No idea.
Definitely more bat-like, I think. But the weirdest thing is that they seem to sort of retain a kind of humanoid torso and limb structure, even though they've sort of morphed into these bat-like creatures.
Which series is that from, Beth?
What the Krillatanes? It's David Tennant and
Oh, yeah.
Billy Piper. So series 3?
I don't remember.
It's the one where her dad comes back to life.
No,
rips
it's
a hole
not.
in time. Yeah, it is. Anyway,
Cool.
No,
So
it's not. It's the one in
everybody-
the school where the kid blows up the school.
okay.
And
Anyway.
Sarah Jane.
Oh, yeah.
and
Right, what is the difficulties?
Initiative DC 5 across
Ah.
the board.
Yay, success.
I didn't get a success.
Yay! I'm not gonna win at all this day.
Does the tail have a mind of its own?
4. No.
Okay, this makes perfect sense as this were-bat, humanoid-esque bat creature flies overhead. Excuse me. Flies overhead. Will, you get to react first.
Cool.
So
Is
this
it
sort
with-
of shrieking thing comes up over the balcony and just, we'll say it's like above your head as you can take your turn.
Cool. Can I Yeah, can I like get it with my sword basically?
Yeah.
Is it within swiping range? Cool.
It sure is.
Boys. Get it, boys.
That's fine.
Kill it
I
with
didn't roll shit.
fire.
Get a fire. I got a thrust.
I don't know what it is. Thrust at it.
Exactly. What's the DC on this? 5?
5, yeah.
I don't think I have anything for it really. I'm going to spend some might. So I have 2 edge in might. So that means if I want to spend 3, I actually spend 1.
Yep, and if you want to use two levels of effort, then you would. The reduction only happens once. It doesn't apply to each level of effort.
Gotcha.
So it would be 4 points for 2 levels. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just spend the 1 then. For a difficulty 4, which is a success, just as well. Like
Heyo. And your thrust is 7 damage.
it is, yeah. First 7.
Right on. So yeah, describe
You thrust so hard.
I do.
a solid wound. You don't kill it, but it's a solid wound as this thing flies overhead.
Cool.
Chad is sort of talking about what do they think this thing looks like. Goro, not quite Goro. Basically, just think a giant bat, but like its body seems too big for it to be able to fly really well. It's definitely got sort of like humanoid-looking shoulders and hips, and then the sort of the leathery wings that are sort of grown out of its arms, and its face still kind of retains like like a rounder skull, and has kind of a human jawline, but then has the sort of the fangs protruding and the sort of the eyes back as well.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I see this. Like I say, oh, you're here. The thing swoops up, and I'm like, I draw the sword and kind of just up into it.
Instinctive.
Yeah, yeah.
I just realized something.
You're here. What's that?
My character doesn't have a weapon. He uses his claws, or his tentacles turn into claws. So
Everything
when
you
I
attack
ta-
mutates.
Mutates. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll with that. I'll go with that.
I like
boy.
that.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, that's my turn.
All right. So this creature getting stabbed is going to be to sort of roll to the ground and then turn to you, Seto, and just swipe with sort of the claws that sort of extend on the ends of its sort of leathery wings. So speed defense base of this task is 5.
Okay, I am skilled in speed defense. When I'm holding my weapon, I have 3 speed defense.
that's-
Because I have a thing. Yeah, an asset on skill defense when I have my weapon in hand. Because I'm a tier 2, so it actually goes down to a 2.
2.
Awesome. So 0 successes still.
Okay, you take 5 might damage
Ow.
and 3 speed damage as this claw sort of scratches across your shoulder, cuts through your armor sort of at the clothy bit where your sort of plate of bamboo on your chest sort of meets your little pauldron, sort of cuts into your shoulder, and you immediately feel the wound start to like burn and itch really bad. There's some kind of toxin.
Damn. Wish I hadn't rolled that 3.
Is that
Turning
what
into a
Seto
werewolf.
says? He's like, Seto is like clawed. It's just like, damn,
Bitten by
wish I'd
Barry.
rolled that 3.
And Elysia will be next, although Elysia, Seto, Maximus, and Delamere, you're all going to start to hear sort of more of this kind of screeching sort of around the city, sort of echoing. Again, no one else seems to be too alarmed. There's a couple sort of passerbys who see Seto attack this thing as it flies overhead and it tumbles into the ground. And they're just kind of leaning back like they're just tripping balls, so they're not responding as urgently as they might otherwise. And you can hear some more commotion sort of left and right throughout the streets. But otherwise, Elysia, it is your turn.
I want to use Hurl Flame, which is 2 intelligence.
Do we? It's pretty much fireball, right?
Yeah.
Fireball.
And yeah, that's a level 5, isn't it?
Yep.
1 success. I got a 17.
Cool. Now, does your hurl flame do like area damage, or is it just one target? What does it say in the description?
I haven't got the PDF up, so I don't know. But I know it's short range and does 2 damage.
Okay, I will let you know what it is, and then just write it in so you know for future.
Yeah.
Type, focus.
That sounds like a
Bears a halo of fire.
No one's in immediate range of me, are they?
Hurl of the target. This is a ranged attack. Range attack, 4 fire damage, takes an action, 2 intellect points, and it does not do area damage, so it's 1 target, so you don't have to worry about hitting Seto.
Yep.
Heyo.
Cool. Hey, yo, Seto. All right, so you hurl a fireball at this thing, sort of beating it in the back. You can describe sort of where you hit it, how you hit it, etc. It's not quite dead, but that's definitely going to hurt it.
As it turns around to attack Seto, I see it and I just kind of push my hand forward, and this ball of flame kind of flies out my hand and hits it square in the shoulder blades on the back. And you can see like the skin singed and like flaking, and it's like there's the fire kind of settles on his back.
Nice.
sloughing off. I love that word.
It's a good word, isn't it?
Oh,
Slough?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's an awful place, however.
It is. It really is.
Never go to Slough.
Josh and then Myth. So Maximus,
Okay.
then Delamere.
Maximus is going to use his. No, I can't use anticipation in combat, can I? Bugger.
Well, technically you can, but like it takes an action to use it. So you'd be like, next round I'm going to attack. I'm going to anticipate the attack with my action right now, and then your subsequent
Cool.
attack with the advantage.
Yeah. Maximus is going to instead of using his gauntlet, which is usually what he'd do, he's gonna like go to use the gauntlet, and then he's gonna like sort of pause, look at his shovel, and just think, this is it. This is right. And he's gonna pick up his shovel, and he's like, I knew I brought this for a reason. Shovel, don't fail me now. And he's just gonna go screaming towards this thing, shovel raised above his head.
Shovel held high.
Shovel held high.
Okay, as a nano, you're not presumed to be proficient in any kind of weapon, so given this is an improvised...
I have practiced with light weapon.
I'll say this shovel is a medium weapon. Like, this is a two-handed... Like, light weapons are like...
that's fine.
So because you're improficient, it's going to be a base DC of 6 to hit this guy with your shovel.
Cool. I will drop that down by 1 to a 5.
Okay.
And nope, that was a terrible idea.
Okay, and you can take an XP just because I think it's funny as you like have this moment of realization that the shovel is the key. Take an XP, the shovel breaks. Like right halfway down the shaft, like it just like snaps as you miss, and like, well, you can describe how it breaks, but your shovel breaks.
No, I imagine it's even better than that. Like as I go to swing, like the shovel head just doesn't come with it, so I like swing, and it would have hit, but I'm just like, I'm now just holding a stick with a handle, and I'm like,
The handle flies off.
that's confusing.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Mythmatic.
Any of them within immediate range of me?
I'll say everyone except for Seto. Seto's just on the outside.
I'm saying monsters.
Yeah. This creature is between you and Seto because Seto like sprinted out. This thing flew overhead. He stabbed it and it tumbled. So
tumbled down.
The creature's kind of between.
It took over 3. It took over 3 damage in immediate range of me.
It's taken 11 damage.
Great. So every time something takes 3 damage within immediate range of me, I heal myself 3 points. So.
Wow.
Yep.
OP.
Yep. And so. Yeah,
so that happened twice. So you would hit twice.
Oh, sweet. So I'm almost at full.
Because there was the
but I'm
stab and the fireball.
Cool. All right, so he's gonna be like, okay, so this is how we're playing, and then he his tentacles just go rigid, and then again they turn into like razor blades made of flesh, and then he waddles with
I
like his
never
hands
want
up
you to talk again.
like a Thriller zombie. And he's just like waddles towards the creature, and he's just like, "Have at thee!" And then he's going to attack.
Myth, there are times when I genuinely I could die happy if you never spoke again. Like your descriptions.
That's pretty much how I
just
always feel when God speaks.
So fun. You're just so fun.
If he never speaks again, I'll be happy.
This is 4, right?
Shut up. It's a 5.
That's 5. Okay.
I just realized that the music is still like super pleasant. I didn't turn it on to my like combat music.
No, this is marvelous Numenera music. So it's 5. Ooh, jeez. There we go. Yeah, I guess I'll just go with 5. Finally, I get a success. Finally!
And he mutates.
And he mutates. He takes 4
Yeah.
damage, and
Yeah, so how
I
much
gain
damage
3 health.
first?
So he takes 4 damage.
Okay.
Tendrils.
Roll me. D5, D100.
God.
This is where you
okay,
rolled. You're
D5
just
and
gonna be like-
D100.
Yeah.
jeez.
This is when you like turn it into like the super boss of the game, where like it regenerates and just destroys worlds.
Yeah, exactly. And the D100. So 4 and 65.
It becomes possessed by a demon. This demon must be famous, well known, well liked, and established.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Finbar. You must have heard of me.
Hello, everyone.
Oh god, I'll take Moldark any day.
Any
just
day.
not this.
65, you said?
4, 65. Yep.
Click Monkey asks, since you took 4 damage, do you heal again?
Yeah, I did. I'm now at full health.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's pretty much a tank.
Okay,
He's a healing tank.
One of this thing's legs just sort of withers, gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and then just sort of like falls off as this weird stump as the thing loses
Breaks like a
one of
twig.
its hind legs.
Break a leg.
Yeah, this character is nuts. All right.
Okay, and moving back to the top of the list, Seto. This creature's still alive, but it's now sort of like clearly unable to stand bipedally as it was trying to do. Otherwise, right before you go, Seto, you're going to hear sort of more shrieking. You're going to see another one of these dark shapes swoop over. You're going to hear Naomi shriek. One of these dark shapes is going to sort of throw itself and crash towards where Naomi was, and they're both going to sort of like tumble into the side of the tavern.
Cool. I go over to kill that one.
So that's at a short distance to you, so you're going to have to use your speed movement things. To be able
I'm going to
get
use
out.
my Fleet of Foot.
Cool.
Speed DC 2, which is a failure. I can't do it.
Okay, so
No.
that's pretty awesome. Normally a speed DC2, not that difficult.
No.
Uh,
I mean,
and what it
I
does-
failed another DC2 one last roll, so
Yeah. But you did pass like a DC 6 earlier.
he did do well.
So
He's had his-
nothing bad happens. You just don't get to move and take an action. So you
Can I
can move
spend
a
an
short
XP to
distance.
re-roll?
You sure can.
I feel like I should probably spend XP because I've got 6 and I should haven't been doing this.
Plus Naomi. Like,
It's no, yeah. 1 success, yeah, 10.
There you go. So this thing has sort of crashed into like a little fence that was beside the single B bed. No bed and breakfast. Naomi seemed to have been like outside, like helping with some kind of gardening that was happening on the outside. There were little sort of flower pots and things.
Classic
That's
Naomi.
why she was outside. Classic Naomi. And this creature, you notice as it sort of flew into her, the reason why it sort of careened and crashed. Naomi managed to sort of roll and huddle to the ground, but the creature has an arrow sort of stuck into its side. And as you're sort of running towards it, you notice to the left the sort of large man with the tattooed hands is sort of running in your direction as well, and he's got a short bow drawn.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to try and cut down into this thing.
Cool.
5. I don't think I have anything to add to
I
it.
actually lied. I take 1 health, 1 point increase.
Okay, so that is-
damage.
That is a
It's
lot.
crazy.
That's
Hey,
sick. I was going to be looking that up on you between sessions by then.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, so 5, just a 5. Let's see if we can do it. Yes, success. You
Those
can't
who
make easy
die
ones.
are just a 5.
All right, describe your thrust.
Good night, Mike. Nice coming along. Yeah, to describe my thrust, it thrusts us down into this creature, trying to miss Naomi. And then I'm kind of looking over to the guy who's running over to me, ready to pull my sword out and kill him if he's gonna shoot at me.
Cool. Turning to the creatures, right after you thrust this bat creature, it's immediately going to sort of turn and sort of hop in front of you, and again do sort of like a frantic slash. You notice, especially given your combat expertise, this creature seems quite clumsy in its body. It's not that well balanced. It sort of almost over swings a little bit and almost loses its balance, and it's kind of just wild and frantically swinging its claws back and forth. But still a DC 5 as the base.
Cool. So it goes down to a 2 for my speed defense, which is a success on a 17, the perfect number.
All right, dodge his clumsy swipes as you like.
Yeah, it just kind of. I guess I block it actually because he's now got this one weapon in hand thing. So yeah, I kind of just block the swipes and return to kind of position.
Cool. All right,
Assume the position.
Delamere, as you are beside, having just scratched into this bat that you caught, to have one of its legs just thump off. It is going to attack you again with these clumsy swipes, especially so from this creature, given that it's kind of half on the ground. It's going to take one big swing at you. I'll say the base difficulty is only going to be a 4, given that this thing isn't standing properly.
Cool. Okay. 4. Yeah, I fail. I take.
God damn.
All right, so you try to roll away.
He's probably
but,
like
otherwise
laughing
his
or
claws
like
connect, dealing 5 might damage and 3.
5 might 3 speed.
5 might and 3 speed from the top.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh man, we're wrecking these things.
So far.
All right, Beth.
Alicia is going to put
So there's
Billy
one
in a...
behind you. The second just ran past. So
No, carry on.
yeah, so there's the one that sort of crashed behind you, and then Seto like sprinted faster than you knew he could run, heading in that direction. And then there's still the one in front of you that just had one of its legs shrivel up, fall off.
Okay. Well, Alicia is going to put Billy in a conveniently nearby plant pot just to get him out of the way. And then...
Okay.
yeah, just to get him out of the way. And then she'll draw one of her swords and stab it. The bat thing, not Billy.
Nice.
I put him in a plant pot, and then I just end him.
KO.
Okay, so the base DC, are you attacking the one that you hurled the fireball at?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say the base DC is a 4, as this thing is missing a leg.
No success. God damn it.
Okay, no dice. It still manages to sort of swat your sword away with its claws as we turn to Maximus. Your shovel just broke.
Yeah, Maximus is gonna lose his shit. Like, you don't fuck with Maximus's shovel, and like, he's like right next to this creature, right?
Yep.
I'm going. Does this thing look pretty messed up?
Oh yeah, yeah. Missing a leg. It got hit by a fireball. It got clawed
Actually-
in its chest, and it got stabbed as it was flying.
Actually, Seto Oh, to get to where Seto is, I'd need to spend my whole action, wouldn't I?
Yep.
Ah, bugger. In which case, like, Maximus is just going to use his gauntlet. I'm going to reduce the DC somewhat. To a 3. Oh wait, no. What is it?
Starts at a 4 with this guy because he's in bad shape.
Oh yeah. In which case, I'll reduce it by 2, and I'm just going to absolutely like fuck his day up.
Okay, knock off your points and roll it out.
Yeah, I did. There we are. Yeah. Do I kill him?
Your weapon does 6 damage. Heavy weapon, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. I essentially like create a singularity in like the center of him, and it like actually no like I teleport. I essentially teleport like him like from like his waist upwards into another dimension, but leave like the stump leg and like that and like bits of him just here, probably like from like shoulder to like hip, so half of him just like vanishes, and you hear a sound, and then it just kind of sort of goes and then he's just like half left there, and I'm just like, that was for the shovel. And then he like walks up to try and find the head of his shovel real quick as he runs over to where Seto is.
Cool. All right, and Delamere, the creature that you had clawed at, that clawed back at you, its top half is missing. And I don't think it'll be clawing at you again.
Okay, so top of half. Is there how much damage did you do? Enough?
It took 6, so you would heal 1, yeah.
That's right. Bring me up 1 point. Okay, so he's
Yes.
going to.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So is there another one near in the vicinity, or is that all?
You would need to move a short distance, which would take action, to get to the one in the garden where Seto is jousting with it.
There's just that one.
Yeah, it's the only one sort of within like 100 feet of you guys. Although again, you hear lots of commotion throughout the city.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take my action and get over to him. If I can attack, I will.
Alright.
But other than that, that is what I'll do.
Nope, you would need the fleet foot ability that Seto has.
Yep.
All right, now before we turn to Seto, Pollard is going to enter into the fray. While running, he sort of throws his bow over his shoulder, and he draws sort of 2 hand axes from his hips. They look like they could be used as throwing axes, but he doesn't throw them at this time. But they're not like double-headed battle axes, just sort of single-headed axes. And he sort of uses the rest of his turn to sort of run in the rest of the way. Seto, you can see that, you know, he's at least got the sort of rage of a warrior, if not potentially the skill or finesse, but that remains to be seen. It'll take his turn to get into the fray. He will not actually be able to attack as we turn to Seto. But this guy's now sort of like beside you coming in, but you can act right before he does.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Oh, and sorry, Pollard's got like a rucksack, or sorry, not a ruck, but like a duffel bag that was just like with one shoulder strap that's like over his chest. So he's got this big duffel behind him that he threw his bow over the other side and took out his axes. So he's got
Cool.
some kind of duffel bag.
Cool. I'm gonna thrust down into this thing once again. So still channeling 5. All right, then 1 success for 7 damage.
Okay, you can describe a bloodying but not lethal wound.
Cool. Can I like, chop off one of his wings?
Not off entirely, but you can like.
Kind of dismember some wing
Yeah,
tissue. Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Make a big,
Feels so good. Thank you.
make a big Z.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Z Z Z Z Z.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I
Whatever.
understand.
EZ pass. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. We are at Beth. Oh no, sorry. We're at the creatures. The one is missing its top half. It's not going to be doing anything. The other that just lost a bunch of its wing is going to see that it is now surrounded, and it is going to turn and try to sort of leap into the building to try and clamber up the sides. It is going to get halfway up the building by the end of its turn. You can tell that it's not, again, quite used to its body. It kind of clambers as best it can. It's trying to get up onto the roof before it tries to take off and fly again.
Oh, I should point to what's his face with the hand axe. Pollard with the hand axes that he could lob up there, so he could maybe chuck one out before next time.
Destination Valhalla.
Hey!
Thank you for following. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Welcome to the adventure.
We're only 10 off, boys.
Yeah.
5,000. Look out.
Oh my.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Scary.
What do we do?
Cool.
What do we do with such power?
Such responsibility.
All right, so this bat creature really aggressively clambers and sort of scratches into the sides of this bee as it climbs its way up, sort of just getting its claws at the top of its wings sort of onto the roof so that it can pull itself up next round and try and get a little bit of a takeoff before flying. But otherwise, go to Elysia.
I am going to use Hurl Flame again.
Okay, as this thing's climbing up the wall, you try and give a toss towards it.
A cat.
Still a
What's
difficulty
DC?
5.
5. And I am... Would this be... What test is intelligence, isn't it? Because it costs 2 intelligence.
It'll be speed-based because it's a ranged attack. Yeah,
In
cost
that
intelligence
case,
to use,
I'm-
but in terms of the accuracy factor, it'll be speed points to... Yeah.
Greetings,
I'm
Moradin.
gonna knock it down by 2.
Okay.
So that take it down to 3.
Indeed.
And I succeed.
All right, you can
Nice.
land your hurled fireball at this thing wherever you like. It's not quite going to kill it, but it hurts.
Once again, it's like kind of center of mass, probably still on its probably on its back like the other one.
Cool.
Between the
So-
shoulder blades. I imagine like a little bit of hairs dangling down as well, or some kind of wisps, and they just kind of go.
Oh yeah, they all get sort of seared, and you guys can smell like burnt hair and burnt flesh. It's all gross.
We'll thank you for the new aroma we have to endure.
Delamere, that's enough to proc your heal again. Is he still in immediate range?
Yes, it does.
Alrighty. Joshua.
Cool. Maximus is going to just be like, got to do everything myself. And what am I looking at to hit this thing as it climbs?
Still DC 5 on this one. This one's not missing any of its limbs.
Cool. I will. Oh, I'm going to drop it down by 2 again because I really don't want this thing to get away. To a 3. Yes.
Oh, that's close.
I'm glad I picked 2.
Okay, right as this thing, we'll say for cinematic purposes, right as this thing is like clambering onto the roof, it's about to like take a leap to like jump off to get its kickstart to fly. And you can describe how you're going to kill it with your gauntlet.
I point like above it, and the top half that vanished off the other one just materializes above it, falls, and impales it as it drives it screaming down onto the floor. And I'm just like, I wonder where that went.
Nice.
And then I walk over, and I've just like screwed the end of my shovel back on, and I walk over and I just vengefully take a swipe at its face and just cave its face, and I'm like, shovel, yeah.
All right, and that ends the immediate combat. Although you guys will see sort of in the distance down the streets to the left and the right, you'll see a couple of these flying creatures sort of even more clumsily flying than they were before as they're sort of clutching at the very sort of writhing and shaking forms of bodies with their rear limbs. And you hear a bunch of this, again, this echoing, screeching noises as these creatures head back down into the pit. And I guess we're at a time, so that is where we can stop, and you guys can venture into those cavern networks.
Nice.
Not next week, but the next time we play.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Next week's not Numenera. Mitch is away, can't DM, but we will be doing something. I'll either have something to announce that we're doing on that, or we'll be creating a module with you guys again. Maybe we could do that, or maybe Cord, you could run something. Maybe one of us could run something. Who knows?
I might run something. I
Yeah.
haven't run something in ages. I might run.
Who knows? Well, we can talk about it afterwards. Also, on Wednesday, we're doing an interview with the guys from Skirmish. Actually, let me link the Kickstarter campaign. I don't have a command for this yet, so I'll just post a link here. We're going to be interviewing these guys on Wednesday. We're going to be playing on their new virtual tabletop, which is like a new Roll20, which they're trying to release. So I'd encourage you to go and check that out, back it if you want to, or just come along on Wednesday, ask us some questions, come hang out, and have a good time Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to stream the West Marches game. It's possible because I'm moving back home for whilst I'm on break. That things might not be able to happen, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know about Thursday. If all goes according to plan, we'll be here on
This
Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday. Yeah. We'll be playing West Marches on Thursday, and then Monday we'll be doing something. Wednesday we'll be back playing out the. No, actually, that Wednesday I think we're playing with AP Gaming, real Arthur.
Yeah,
He wants to run a dwarven underground dwarven fight club game with us on that Wednesday, which is going to be a lot of fun. So
Will, I
Nice.
thought we weren't supposed to talk about that. It was like rule 1.
oh yeah, sorry, don't talk about underground dwarven fight club.
It
Oh,
was like
man.
the one thing he stressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Thursday will be West Marches again. So we've got some exciting events and stuff happening over the next couple of weeks. We're also selling T-shirts over at Teasley. You can go find a link here. We need 4 more. So if you haven't grabbed your sexy merch already, please do. It's only $20 for a T-shirt. A couple more for a hoodie. So go over and grab some of those. If you haven't followed already, please do, because we're at 990. That's only 10 away from 1,000, which is exciting.
And what's going to be happening at 1,000 followers?
We don't exactly know. I mean, probably
votes. We got a couple strong votes going.
Madness. Yeah.
madness will happen. Certainly, we'll
but we
decide.
will
There'll
be
probably several
deciding
things will
something,
happen
yeah.
at 1,000. So yeah, we'll
Extravaganza.
decide
Give
on
the
the night.
people what they want.
Exactly. So thank you, Lord Oliver, Midnight Ronin, Z-Stroke, Scrappy Coco, Some Benicillin, Forder Crusher, Fly Garev, General Starrock, Myth Kitty, Fatal Baptist, Wonk Type, and Destination Valhalla for following. Thank you everyone who's hosted us tonight. I know Finbar and TGM have hosted us tonight, and
There's
under
been quite a
Baron.
few, isn't there?
Yeah. So thank you guys, mad love, for coming along tonight. So Mitch, you want to do some sexy plugs? Plug your body.
Yeah, I mean, as always, delinear.net is where I do most of my stuff. Gracious enough of Encounter Roleplay to let me GM with them, let me stream, hang out, have fun, play some games, engage with chat. I love GMing with chat. It's a new experience. I love having to incorporate the insanity that ensues, especially in a world like Numenera. But yeah, delinear.net is a site where you can just go to get free tips, reading material. Yeah, I like to write stuff about RPGs, so there you go.
Awesome. Josh, Beth, any last words, feelings, thoughts?
I wanted, to quickly just apologise to you guys for running late. Everything's gone a bit terrible today, but it has been made up to me. You know, it's really opened my eyes and then horribly mutated them, and I appreciate every second.
Opened them
Beth.
up way too much.
You run our
head
Facebook
over-
page, don't you?
Yes, head over to Facebook. There's been some awesome activity over the last week or so. People keep messaging me, asking mainly what's happening on at 1,000 followers, and I've got no idea. So
It's a secret.
that
We'll find
is
out.
down to you guys. There are a few polls floating around that I don't actually think have been linked in chat today.
Oh, I think they have, yeah. They have.
Okay, if they have, go
Should we
find
get them in again,
and
real quick?
vote.
If Irving has them, then they'll find them, but I
Yeah.
don't have them on hand right now. Yeah.
I think the top 2 at the moment are me DMing a one-shot and an encounter board game
game.
night, which
Yeah.
could be quite fun.
Yeah, if we figure
Cluedo.
out ways to do it. It'll be fun. Cluedo.
I would absolutely love to play Cluedo with you guys.
See, I said earlier that we should actually roleplay Cluedo.
That sounds.
How many
Oh
syllables? How many syllables do you guys have in the name of that game? Like Cluedo.
No, it's Cluedo.
It's Clue Do.
It's not Cluedo.
Clue. Just we got.
But we could play
Clue.
Cluedo.
1,000 viewers drunk stream. It's not a bad show actually. People, it's drunk, corset wearing, tabletop.
P-Farts, just come out whenever there's a 24-hour stream because that's always just a drunken shit show anyway. Or is that just me?
Vicious rumor. Will is never drunk. Cord.
Yes. What do I need to plug? We are just getting ready. I think the next couple days here, Will and I are going to start sitting down and start planning the next 24-hour stream, and we will let you guys know when that is going to be. So that's always, of course, a lot of fun. We love doing that for you guys and for Twitch as well, and for getting everybody to come in and play with us. It's always a lot of fun. 24 hours of Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games is a lot of fun.
I am going to be around for a lot more of this next one because I was so upset.
Nice. I also am playing Ark right now. I just got a new graphics card. It's not installed yet, but I will be doing some more of that. I actually now have a Will has Ark as well. If you guys, I'll be streaming a bit later, probably in an hour or so from now. You guys will see me online playing Ark. We have our own server, so come play. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. What else?
Are we still raffling a copy of the Player's Handbook? No, we're not. It finished, and I can announce the winner. He's been contacted. I sent him an email. Let me just load it up here. Yeah, I also have Ark. A man named Danny H has won the copy of the Player's Handbook. So congrats, Danny.
Congrats,
and I will.
Danny H.
Danny boy.
If you guys want to play Ark, I'm actually raffling off a copy of Ark as well with my buddy Indent Baron, as well as Retrosphere.
Hey.
So come along, play with us, play with Will. It's a lot of fun.
Come play with me.
Yeah. So.
But don't let touch.
What I wanted to mention is I actually have a consistent schedule now. Monday through Wednesdays I will be streaming. So instead of me being like, oh, sorry, I'm on, oh, I'm off, oh, I'm on, Mondays through Wednesdays is my scheduled streaming time. So I will be around more often to hang out with you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of exciting things happening. 1,000 followers soon. Very hopefully 24-hour streams happening soon. Interviews with awesome Kickstarter campaigns and new Roll20 stuff and all this sort of thing happening. Soon on Encounter Roleplay, but we're going back on Wednesday at 4 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. GMT. We're back to that normal schedule now that your clocks have changed over in the Americas. So be there, and until then, try not to get your Billy mutated. Try not to grow.
I tried,
stalks.
in all honesty, I tried.
Try not to grow stalks out of your eyes or make them go
You
red.
succeeded, but then
Things. Yep.
But then chat.
Try not to have Scarred Star mutate your body because we want to be there laughing when you do. Of course, when you're rolling all those nat ones as well. So until then, guys, at 4 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. GMT on Wednesday at twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay. Come along, Len. We'll let you have a dungeon then. Good night, everybody.